And there's Tuckman right there.
Card connoisseurs enjoy great food too. That's why inside Stone's Gambling Hall, you'll find Sammy's Restaurant and Bar. Recognized for its innovative, healthy global cuisine, Sammy's offers menu selections made with local, organic ingredients. Indulgent options like truffle fries, duck tacos, artisan wood-fire pizzas, fresh salads, and more, along with an eclectic selection of craft beers and classic handcrafted cocktails. Plus, with 40 big-screen TVs, Sammy's is also the perfect place to catch your favorite game. Satisfy your craving anytime, 24/7, tableside or in the dining room at Sammy's Restaurant and Bar at Stone's Gambling Hall, Sacramento, California. Conveniently located off I-80 and Antelope.
Hello and welcome to... And of course, Veronica Brill. We're not on yet, so I'm
Okay,
just
now
talking
we're
for
on.
no
We're going to
reason.
try it again.
Let's do that again. Hello and welcome to Stone's Gambling Hall. David Tuckman alongside Justin Caritis and Veronica Brill. We are here for the Stones Live Survivor Series. You're probably wondering, what the heck is the Stones Live Survivor Series? Well, we have our tournament director here at the Stones Poker Room
Who's
to help
periscoping.
us
I'm trying to. I
Here,
can't
I'll
find
hold
a
it.
good spot for it. Okay,
to
there we
help
go.
us
That's what
guide
she
us
said.
through exactly what the Survivor Series is.
Yes.
Justin, what is going on for the next 10 Saturdays?
So we've been getting a lot of questions, and I know this is a complex promotion, but at the same time, it's kind of easy. There's 9 cash games. All we do is we get some players in those cash games. You, the viewers, get to vote, and we've got some links you'll see have been already posted in our chat. They're going to be posted on our social media and also on our website. That's going to take you to a voting site where you can log in every half hour and vote in a new category for your favorite player based on the category that we post. So you get to vote once every half hour. You don't have to always vote for the same player. You can vote for a different player. At the end of that, at the end of the 6 voting sessions at 10 o'clock, we'll have a winner from tonight. We'll do that for the next 9 weeks, including tonight. One winner from each table comes back on event 10. That's June 18th, plays a single table tournament. The winner of that tournament, we're going to buy them into the main event at the WSOP.
What happens if one person does not get enough votes? Will we then have an open convention?
Yeah, so there's a whole caucus and delegate assignment
caucus.
process with this.
I've actually
He
been
said
looking
cock.
forward all
What
week.
did I say? Oh my God.
I've been looking forward. I've actually wanted to caucus with Veronica for a while.
Have you?
Yeah.
I'm in between you guys. That's probably not the best spot for me.
I'm gonna be fired after this show.
So the important thing is you guys at home will be voting for the players. The winner of tonight will play in 10 weeks, 9
Yes.
Saturdays from now.
Yes.
And they will play in a sit and go. The winner of that sit and go will represent Stone's Gambling Hall at the World Series
That's
of
right.
Poker. And will play in the $10,000 main event seat. You get 1 vote per IP address every 30 minutes.
That's correct.
So
Yeah, so if you guys are on Wi-Fi and you got a few people in the room watching together, get off the Wi-Fi, get on your mobile data so that each of you can cast an individual vote. Also, very important for everyone watching at home, if you want to be part of this and you want to play in the upcoming games, all you got to do is send a couple paragraphs, make it entertaining, because you're going to get voted on by our employee panel to whether we get you in the game or not. So you just send us something that tells us that you're the greatest poker player ever and that you should play because you're guaranteed to make the final table
we
and win.
like funny entries.
Funny ones have been working.
Well, I'm going to
Yeah.
put this out there. Actually, if you want to get in, I think not only put your bio in there, but Justin's last name, Caritis, to me sounds like something's wrong. It sounds like some sort of illness. So you could suggest what I'm
I've got
looking...
Caritis.
Right, exactly. I want the most creative, keep it somewhat clean, because we want to be able to say it on the air, what Caritis would be in your world. Okay?
That would
The
be
funniest
great.
one has a chance to possibly play in one of the upcoming
It's possible.
Survivor
yeah.
Series.
Do remember, I have veto power.
Right.
So be nice to me.
Just be creative, be funny.
I'm very sensitive.
That rash
very
looks like
sensitive.
coritis to me.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
should get that looked at.
Right.
Get a coritis cure.
By the way, so to represent Stones, and in my opinion, all of Northern California at the
really?
World Series of Poker,
Yep.
You need to have 6 things. And we are going to vote on these things, 6 things.
We are.
Number 1, style. Style, and of course, how you dress.
Right.
Number 2, and this will be every 30 minutes, we have a new thing to vote for. Number 2, be entertaining.
The most entertaining player.
Right. Number 3, have a little bit of aggressiveness. Be willing to gamble. Because you know what, you can't be nitty knitting it and
action
win the main
category,
event.
yeah.
Exactly. Have a little bit of aggressive attitude there. Number 4, have some skill. Be skilled.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to vote on the most skilled player. Number 5, lucky. We all remember 2006. Nobody luckier than Jamie Gold. If you got a Jamie Gold horseshoe up your butt, that's good. That's a good thing. We want
you can
lucky.
get some votes for that.
And number 6, it's a long trek through that World Series. You've got to have discipline
Absolutely.
to survive that and get to the November 9. So discipline's so important. Speaking of the World Series, we have none other than Lon McCarron. Special announcement: Lon will be joining us at some point tonight here in the commentary.
He
booth.
will.
Very
Yeah.
excited about that.
I'm going to have an argument with you later about Jerry Yang and Jamie Gold.
Uh-oh.
Okay,
If we're going to talk about the luckiest player.
fair enough. We could
It
we have to
could
argue.
be one of those two.
I'm
So,
okay with that.
so we do have a great 1-3 game going tonight. 4 of these players actually got in by playing 25 hours and a 1-3 no limit live game this last week. One of the players won the Saturday tournament last week, and the other 4 submitted bios and were voted on by our employee panel. So this game is a collection of people that got in different ways. If you're not close to Stones or you don't have the opportunity to play here in the upcoming week, the bio's the best way to get in. Just a couple of paragraphs. Let us know why you should be on the show. We reach out, we contact you on Thursday, confirm that you can get in the game. This upcoming week is for 2-5 no limit. You can go on our website and check out the schedule of coming games for the next 8 weeks after this. And once again, 1 player from each week go into that single table tournament. If you can beat 1 table, and we're going to send you to the main event.
Yeah, $10,000 main event seat. That's pretty awesome.
That's
Awesome.
a good, it's a good
free
prize,
roll.
right? It's an okay price.
It's a great prize.
Because I
not
was
like a
thinking,
free roll.
I
It
was
is a
like,
free roll.
what
So
would encourage people to play?
You can play, make money in the cash game, and still win a $10,000 seat. You don't know. It's a free roll.
It's
And in all
pretty sweet,
fairness,
yeah.
there's a lot of great tournaments. There is nothing like the World Series main event. It is.
Nothing.
It should be on everybody's bucket list. It is fantastic, and if you are one of the many people out there that don't have $10,000 in disposable income, this is a great way to get in. And by the way, even if you don't get in, you can play in a cash game, be on the show, win some money that way as well, which is cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Let's get to the game.
Let's
Let's
do
look
it.
at the players.
I'll let you guys to it.
Get out of here, Justin. We want to
All
make
right,
fun of
I'm
you.
out.
So we are here at twitch.tv/Stones Live Poker. Veronica Brill, David Tuckman in the booth. We will be paying attention to the chat. I see that Dracarix, Texas Donkey, Rick and Barstow, Plastica, Fat Train, and many others in
Plastica,
there.
I'm not the only one. So Igor has pocket queens in the big blind, and it looks like someone has put in a raise to 45. Oh no, Igor has. Sorry, I probably limped around and then he re-raised.
Play-by-play by Veronica Brill.
I was
That's why
making
she's
sure
the best.
We didn't miss the queens. Igor had his pocket queens.
So exciting. You can buy into this game anywhere from $60 to $500, but one thing that is great about Stone's Gambling Hall, one of the reasons why if I'm up in Northern California, this is the place I like to play poker, you can match the highest stack in this game. So even though the buy-in is $60 to $500, once the game starts, 4 hours later, there's a good chance that you can buy in this game for $1,000, $1,100, $1,400. Same thing applies for the 2-5 game, which will be our Survivor Series next Saturday night.
Well, actually, I thought you were going to say the best thing about Northern California is visiting your dad at Folsom Prison.
Yeah, I can't recycle jokes every single time.
No,
that
but
was-
I mean that's the only reason.
Right.
That's the reason you came last time.
Well, the great thing about Sacramento, there's nothing here, but
We're close to everything.
you're close to
All right,
everything, and
we're-
of course, you can visit your parents in Folsom Prison, which is great.
So if anyone recognizes Lo in seat 3, she actually won one of our monthly deep stacks. And she's a pretty competent player. I like her. She was all patched up last time she was here. They're playing 1-3. The max buy-in is 500. As you can see, some people have more than 500. 660 is the biggest
But I
stack.
can now buy into this game for $660.
Yes.
So which is great. Have we already started? Just want to make sure we get this right.
Yeah, we're starting.
So but I'm saying the first category, 7 p.m. to 7:30. The first category is voting for the best dressed player, most stylish player. Okay, so once again, that is the links will pop up in the chat.
The links have popped up. They're in the chat. Go ahead and click on those and vote for your best dressed player. As you can see, the gun show is in the house.
Gun show in town.
He's the least dressed player. I don't know if he's the best player. Best dressed.
Well, in all fairness, I mean, if you're looking at some of the guys at this particular table, and you're comparing, if you're comparing Jake in seat number 2, half dressed, as opposed to some of the players at the table fully dressed,
Yeah.
you'd prefer Jake half dressed.
As a woman, probably. I can't speak on behalf of all women.
Right.
Wattbry's wearing his submarine shirt. You know, Wattbry's known for his sub on our show. A submarine means something different in LA than it does in Sacramento. Sub is Wattbry here. So, you know, he's wearing that. We could give him some points for his shirt. Robert in seat 9 is wearing the same thing he wears every single day.
Yeah, I'm going to go on a limb. Besides the players, by the way, seat 1 is we
Look
have
at that scarf.
Yeah,
Seat 1.
that's Hot Dog in seat 1. We've got Jake S in seat 2, Loretta in seat 3, seat 1, seat 4, Cobra. We have Viet, who is the Asian Ryan Gosling apparently, in seat 6.
Have
Igor.
you seen how he dresses?
We're going to get to that in a second. Igor, our token Russia in the game, in seat 7. Wattbry, who you mentioned, and of course Robert Y, who you referenced, wearing the same thing. I'm going to tell you I'm a little bit disappointed in the players today, and I'm going to ask you guys at home, if you are playing in one of the subsequent weeks here at the Survivor Series, to step up your style game.
You mean like wear a costume or come in with your tuxedo on?
I honestly, whatever is you. But okay, Siwong didn't really put much effort in here.
Okay.
Okay.
But Ryan Gosling did.
Yeah, look at Ryan Gosling on the bottom right of your screen. You can see that is Viet. We're gonna just call him Ryan Gosling all week, all night, I should say. That is Ryan Gosling, and look, he's got the nice vest on.
He's damn well sexy. I'll call him sexy.
Yeah. I actually said to him, I said, he said, do you have the 6-pack like Gosling? And he goes, no, I've got a keg. But I'm pumped. So Hot Dog Plop's top pair, Jake with second pair. We will pay attention to the game, I promise. Once again, David Tuckman alongside Veronica Brill here for Stones Live Poker.
So the lady in the chat room, Plastica, I renamed her Plastica, but it's supposed to be Plastic CA. She is going to be on Veronica and Friends next month in May. So her and her wife are booked in May. You guys better show up. The Jake is in the chat, my usual co-host. ST Sherm too. Andrew Barber. Is Andrew Barber in the chat? So, you know Andrew Barber. He won...
Andrew's got a bit of a crush on me.
No, he's got a crush on me.
No. I've talked to him about this. I saw him...
I just don't believe it because, you know, he sends me sweet nothings all the time.
Yeah, he doesn't have to send me anything. Because he comes to my house, baby. He brings it. No, Barber's a good guy.
It's because you barbecue and you give him free food. I know how Andrew Barber thinks. I know his mind. No.
He knows mine. So we're playing 1-3. If for some reason you are new to the broadcast and this is your first time here, you can see that the percentages are next to the players' names. That's how much equity they have in the pot, theoretically. Their stack size underneath their name. And their position on the table, +2, meaning under the gun +2. BTN, obviously standing for button, so forth and so on. You can see the flop.
Button?
Yes. Flop, and you can see the pot size in the bottom right corner of your screen. Not much here for Cobra, and you expect this to go check, bet, fold.
Oh, Andrew Barber says, I love me some David Tuckman. Okay. It was wrong on my part to assume that he loved me.
Cobra peeled the flop, and he might get himself in a bit of trouble now because he's now picked up a pair of 4s. The funny thing is, there's really not much of a difference. If Ace High was the best hand before, then his 4s didn't really change much. And now Cobra's going to bet 40. Robert just calls. I like the call.
Rick and Barstow, nice to see you in the chat. Drake RX.
Check here from Cobra. And Robert, probably a little bit scared of the backdoor hearts, decides to check it back, and that pot heads over to Robert. Now, the interesting thing is, whoever wins the most money is not going to factor into who wins tonight, theoretically wins our contest. It might factor into your decisions at home, and that's fine, because we do have a most skilled category later on and luckiest category later on.
Yeah.
But right now, the category that you're voting for is best dressed or most stylish player.
Until 7:30.
Yeah, we will announce when that changes.
So the Nightbot has put in the link to the voting. So click on that. You've got up until 7:30 to vote, and then at 7:30 we will start a new category of voting.
Yeah, it's most entertaining.
But at 7:30? Well, we'll see. Maybe someone will get up and do a little song and dance. Looks like Cobra puts in a raise to 13. And Cobra normally plays our big games, like a 5-10. And this feels like micro stakes to him, I think. I talked to him about that before the show started. I'm like, are you okay playing 1-3?
You know, it's funny though. I mean, a lot of players, no matter what level you normally play, if you drop down, sometimes you don't take the game as seriously, and because of that,
You don't play as well.
you don't play as well, and before you know it, you can blink and lose 3 buy-ins. I have seen players who normally play 5-10 playing a 1-3 game, and they look down and they go, how did I just lose $1,600?
Yeah.
And they're kind of annoyed. They're like, wow, I don't care if I lost 100, but I lost 11600. How did that happen?
Maybe they get a little looser and they're normally they
No,
wouldn't be calling and they're like, well, it's only $15.
There's a bunch of things that happen. They don't play their game.
Jig 3D9, nice to see you. Card Contessa, Droz 85. Some of these people I haven't seen in the chat before. We've got some newbies.
You can go to stonesgamblingHall.com/survivor for complete details of our contest. Once again,
Jake says that Jake in C2 is dressed like a character on Mortal Kombat.
yeah, I do like Jake's style. He is towing the line between douchey and cool, but towing it really well. Like, I think he's doing a really good job of towing that line. I'm not even being facetious.
I think I
normally
can
I
see
would be.
his arms pulsating from here.
No, I mean, normally everything that comes out of my mouth is sarcastic. But I kind of like Jake's look. The glasses, everything, he does look like... He looks like somebody out of a video game right now. And I like the look.
He looks like somebody out of a... He's like a male model for like a protein supplement in a weightlifting magazine. He's a beefcake. I told him he's a beefcake. Yeah, Neanderthal commentary by Dave Tuckman.
Yeah. By the way, I am back here next Saturday as well for the 2-5 game.
With Val.
Thank God.
I know. It's been a horrible day.
Already.
Because when I think that you almost always pull that.
Once again, Lon McCarran will be joining us in a little while. We are live at Stone's Gambling Hall. Beautiful casino just outside of Sacramento.
Lon is actually doing a little degenning himself right now. He's at the table.
Poker's not degenning.
Well, you can degen with poker.
Yeah, I don't.
How do you know Lon doesn't call with?
Yeah, I don't
outs?
consider poker degenning. I consider, like, you know, leaks that you might have, life leaks. I don't consider poker's fun. Poker's making money.
You never cried in the parking lot of a casino after you lost a ton of money?
After I lost, cried in the park after I lost $600. No, shockingly, that never happened. Wow, weird. I want to thank Justin Caritis for inviting me up here to Stones, and I want to thank Veronica for opening her booth to me.
Oh.
Thank you for opening your booth to me, baby.
My booth is your booth, baby.
Hot dog's got the most chips. He's got $730.
I try to invite as many men into my booth as possible.
I like that. It's obvious.
We're boothies.
Yeah,
We're boothies.
exactly. Hot dog, by the way, in seat number 1, 8 grandchildren. Number 9 is on the way.
That is amazing. I like that. I love those stories.
Well, it's even more amazing because he only has 1 daughter.
Shut up. I think we have a raise out of Robert. You're supposed to be calling this stuff, man. $25 out of Robert.
If you would
in
shut
seat
up, I
9.
would call it. I'm just trying to play off you.
And
By the way, it's a big raise. Did he just open? Was there a straddle?
see, we weren't paying attention.
Well, that's the whole point. I promise I'll call the action.
It's okay. We're loosey-goosey. We've got 10 minutes left in our best looking category.
So Igor was in the straddle with 10-6. So they made it 25, which is kind of 4x the straddle. This is a 1-3 game. Igor is going to lead out, kind of just hoping that nobody has this, just hoping that the raiser has like ace king, or what do you have, just king queen. C Wong is in a very much of a let me raise and see where I'm at kind of thing, and he's going to find out that he has the best hand right away. Who do you think's going to win tonight? I mean, this is not necessarily, I'm not asking for who you would vote for in this category, so I don't want to influence our viewers yet. But if you had to guess who would win tonight, who do you think it's going to be?
That's what I assumed the question was. So I know the categories, and then you want to do a mean, an average of all the categories. And I feel like, I think Watbry stands a good chance because he's a pretty personable guy and fun and plays a lot. But then Lowe's got, I think she'll have the ladies, voting for her. I don't know. It's hard. I think they got to warm up a bit. You know what I mean? I think the game changes throughout the 3 hours that we do a broadcast, and it happens like that every live stream. The game.
You're such a politician. Just pick somebody.
My vote's gonna be on Watbry. How's that? I like this. He made himself a shirt. Who makes it? It's like buying a shirt and then putting your picture on it.
I like it. The Jake 427 saying Igor's already building a case for the most action player. Unfortunately, we're not up to that level yet. That will be the 8 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. voting period. Right now, we're still in the voting for best dressed, most stylish player, and you have 9 minutes left to vote for that.
See, Plastica says go low. Winner ends with most money. No. In case anyone missed it, the winner of the game is the winner the person who wins gets the most votes from all these categories, and we'll average all the votes. We'll find out at 10 p.m. who the winner was. Then that person is going to play on our final live stream of the Survivor Series at a 9-person sit and go, and the winner of that will win a $10,000 seat. So you don't actually enter into a tournament or anything. This is just kind of a free roll, and you can make some money playing cash. Yeah.
What she said.
You're in my bio gym?
Look at that scarf. Seat 1, hot dog. That scarf. Come on. It's like 90 degrees outside. He's wearing a scarf. He's doing it for you.
I like. If I had to think of the 3 most stylish players at this table for the first voting period, my vote would be between Hot Dog, Jake S, and between Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling.
V, by the way, is Ryan Gosling. I think clearly those are the 3 most stylish.
Obviously.
Most, not necessarily best dressed, but certainly style.
Yeah. Looks like Lowe's putting in a little bit of a raise. There was a straddle, a $6 straddle by Robert.
Get that camera out of my
Robert's
face!
loosening up because Robert doesn't normally straddle, I don't think.
Yeah, Loretta, by the way, Lowe, as you guys call her, is wearing the Jaguar hat in seat number 3 and a red vest.
She's normally patched up.
She's not patched here. Flop is ace 9-5, 2 spades out there. Loretta's still at the best of it. Robert Y, not usually good when you call when they have a pair and you have one of those cards and it's your top card. Tough to win. So you imagine this will go. Oh, I thought this was going to go back.
Maybe he's going to float.
Yep.
Float.
And he's floating from out of position, which makes it doubly difficult. He picks up a gutter. He can catch an 8 now to make the straight.
And Lowe is not a passive player. She will not allow him to walk all over her.
Yeah, I kind of like this bet. I mean, a lot of times I'm checking back the 10s there. I don't mind the bet simply because, he could have called with a 9. He could have called with spades. And unless you think you're going to induce a bluff on the river, I don't mind betting a turn. I'm probably more often going to be checking back those 2 red 10s.
Letting him maybe try to bluff the
the river. It's just hard for me to get value from Morse. But if you think your opponent's going to call two straights with spades, then you don't mind betting. Default in a smaller game like this, in a 1-3 game, I think is bet and let your opponent just make the mistakes.
Yeah. Andrew Barber wants an update on the tattoo.
On my tattoo? Mm-hmm. It's on my leg. It's on my calf, my right calf. I got a tattoo about 2 months ago. My first tattoo. Love it. And I now want more.
I heard you got it on your butt. That's why I didn't ask to see it.
My next one will be on my butt. There's a distinct chance it might be Andrew Barber's face.
Oh wow! Was there a bet involved?
No. I just like Andrew Barber that much. Robert Y has flopped the nuts here, and he might get some action here. This is one of those spots where I'm going to tell a lot of newer players out there get into the problem of they want to protect, quote unquote, their hands. And I learned something very early on when I was playing poker, no limit hold'em. In no limit hold'em, we don't want to protect our hand, we want to protect our stack. And 2 9s without a spade on a 6-5 deuce spade board, I want to try to keep this pot as small as possible. Generally speaking. Everything's always general because player dependent, you're going to make certain moves. But I don't really want to build a big pot up. I'm not going to like raise here to like, oh, let me protect my hand against somebody who might have a big spade. Because even if somebody just had 1 overcard, let's say they just had the ace of spades on a 6-5 deuce flop, they have 12 clean outs against you. They're doing really well against your range, against your nines. Nice lay down by Cobra.
Robert is known to be a little bit more snug. He's not going to be bluffing a lot there. Maybe he'll. I think sometimes he'll use that to his advantage. Maybe he does. So we've got 4 minutes left in the voting. The link is there to vote. Look, we've got a link to vote, and then right below it says, "Where's the link to vote?" We're going to be putting the link to vote out quite often. It's in the chat.
Very easy to find.
And we are voting right now for the best dressed.
Most stylish.
Most stylish, which is kind of the best dressed.
Most stylish player.
The scarf is a big deal.
I like the scarf and tattoo because they're contrasting.
Yeah.
Contrasting styles. Normally you don't think of a scarf and a grandfather with tattoos. And by the way, we've been paying attention to Jake's guns.
Look at those guns, right?
By the way, Hot Dog in seat 1, he's a grandpa. 9 grandchildren, number 9 on the way. Loretta with 9, by the way, speaking of 9. The guy's got guns, he's got a tattoo, and he's wearing a scarf. I like it.
I like it too. You know what? He's got my vote for this category.
Yeah?
How about you?
I'm either between him and Jake.
And his name is Hot Dog.
Well, his name is Doug. His nickname is Hot Dog.
Yeah, his nickname's Hot Dog. Still a cool nickname.
I suppose. Do you have a nickname?
I have a few.
Oh, wow. Nothing like calling a raise with 6-4 suited and flopping a joint. He flops the stones. Speaking of stones, we're at Stones Gambling Hall, just outside Sacramento. So Loretta's going to get a little bit of damage here. She bets 25. Waprai just calls.
Wow, can this hand get any better for Waprai?
Yeah, you know what? I don't know if I like just a call here by Waprai. I just feel like there's a lot of cards that can come off. Like, I feel like if he fast plays his hand, he's actually more likely to get action. Like, if she has ace queen or king jack or something like that, she's probably going to put out 1 bet and be done with it anyway.
Are alarms going off in her head right now?
Well, I mean, she's got to be aware of the fact, I mean, the 4 comes off, that's 1 more card she can't beat. She can't beat ace 4, she can't beat a 6, she can beat clubs. So she's going to call 1 more time. If a club comes off, she can't beat anything.
I thought the gold players actually.
I think she's in check call mode right now.
Yeah, obviously. Now, I'm not always raising that flop, but on a wetter board like this, I think I am going to raise this flop a little bit more often. Waprai bet 75 into about 170. She's getting a good price. I don't know if she can fold this. The problem is, if he had ace-x of clubs, he might be content to get the showdown, thinking he can chop it up at 6s and 4s and an ace kicker.
This is awesome because what do you charge an hour for poker? I mean, I am getting free poker lessons.
$6.25.
Free poker lessons from
Thanks to
Dave
Bernie Sanders, though, I'm going to be upping my rate to $15 an hour. She does make the call, and you know what?
Begrudgingly, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's had a feeling that she was behind, but, you know, she's getting a good price, and she wanted to see. She's getting a little bit more than 3 to 1.
They're saying your mic might be low or something.
Nobody can hear me?
I just want to jam it in your pie hole a little more.
It's okay. I'll just stick whatever you want in my pie hole.
Meatballs?
Please. Love me some meatballs.
Who doesn't?
It's rare that people will say they can't hear me.
I know.
That's not a usual complaint, so.
It's 7:30. Guess what time it is?
Time for the new category. So the next category, once again, we are looking to somebody represent Stones, and of course all of Northern California at the WSOP. They will win a $10K main event seat. 10 weeks from now. Our Survivor Series runs from April 16th all the way through June 18th. This is the first night. The winner tonight will play in a sit and go on June 18th against the other 8 winners. And the winner of that will, of course, win the 10K seat. It is your opportunity, your duty, your responsibility at home to vote. You get 1 vote per IP address per every 30 minutes, and this next one is vote for the most entertaining player. And by the way, this is important because whoever wins the seed is probably going to run really, really deep and play a long time. They're going to get some ESPN time.
And
we want
entertaining.
we want an entertaining player representing Stones.
So Lo put in a raise to $12. She got re-raised by Cobra, and he made it 30.
And she 4-bets.
And she 4-bets.
Yeah, and this is very much. I mean, you told me she had a tournament background, and this is very much a tournament play. I mean,
Yeah.
she's like 4-betting Ace Kings instead of Cobra, more of a cash game player.
Yeah.
Trying to evaluate his hand here because while you love Ace King, the problem is you call here, you're going to miss the flop 2 out of 3 times, and then when she puts a C-bet out there, are you just going to fold?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ace King in a tournament very different than Ace King in a cash game.
So he just calls here.
Yeah.
Looks like he's just calling.
And this is exactly what I mean. I mean, the flop comes out Jack 3-3, 2 hearts out there. You know, Cobra doesn't have much going on. Now she puts a continuation. Now it's got to be scary for her also, because when he calls, his hand looks like 10s, queens, maybe Ace King. You know, he's now called a 4-bet. And
She's such a beast. I like it.
yeah, well, I mean, obviously the pre-flop aggressor
Yeah.
with the fortitude to put out that C-bet.
She has the testicular fortitude to do that.
Right. Now the issue with that bet is she gets Ace Kings to fold. She gets the same hand to fold.
Yeah.
Does she ever get a hand better than hers to fold?
Like if someone had an ace jack and hit the jack on the flop.
Well, she's definitely not getting Ace Jack to fold. I'm saying any hand. Let's say the board was Jack 3-3. It's a relatively dry board in a 4-bet pot. Let's say he had 3-bet with 10s.
Okay.
Is he folding 10s on that flop?
No. Cobra, no, I don't. I think other players would.
And that's in a tournament. It's a little bit different because you're so short stacked relative to the blinds.
Yeah.
Generally, in a cash game, it can be a little bit more difficult to navigate that because she's out of position with Ace King. I don't know that C bet
Sorry.
gets Ace Queen to fold, gets Ace King to fold. I don't know if it just doesn't get a hand better than hers to fold. Go ahead, sorry.
No, Jake in seat 2, his muscles kind of twitched, and I stopped listening to what you were saying.
I can understand that. What a flop for Igor. He's got the best hand with Ace High, but he's flopped a gut shot straight flush draw.
He's not going anywhere.
No, he's gonna win this pot right here.
Yeah. And poor Cobra, he's just getting nothing with any of his hands. But Cobra is not the player that tilts. He will sit this through and continue playing his A game. A lot of people are talking to you. Everyone likes Tuck. I don't know if you know some of our regulars in the chat box.
Fortunately, a lot of your regulars are a lot of regulars across the board, so I do know them. And if I don't, then hey, welcome to the show, and thanks for having me here. It's a lot of fun. By the way, one of the problems when good players play lower than they normally play, lower stakes, they tend to, and this is going to be a problem for a lot of people, they tend to overestimate their ability, and they think, okay, well, I know it's Queen 4 suited and it's not a really good hand, but I can outplay these guys. These guys suck.
Yes, I
I'm
noticed
good.
that.
I can outplay them.
I can get them to fold anything.
Or I just know where I'm at. And the problem is, a lot of times they end up giving up so much pre-flop that even if they are really good, it's going to be hard to overcome that.
Yeah. No, I've seen that. Yes.
C
It
Wong.
happens to me all the time.
C Wong raise. I'm sorry, you gotta do that. C Wong raise.
Yes.
25. Loretta calls.
And then leads out. Leading into the razor.
Yeah, and I like this call by him. I think she ought to. Well, she shuts down. I was actually going to say, I would not hate if she's going to take the lead out line, I wouldn't hate putting out another bullet, simply because the 5 of spades, the board was ace, 9, 6. When somebody leads out, a lot of times it's a marginal hand, but it'll often be a draw. And the 5 of spades completed everything. It completed 7, 8, and it completed spades. So she could theoretically, if she wanted to go that bluff line and fire a second bullet, the 5 of spades was a good card to do it with.
Do you call it a donk bet? Do you think it is a donk bet? Because Jake and I always discuss this.
You mean like
Leading into the race.
the vernacular? No, I mean, I know a lot of good players. I know a lot of good players who will lead into a razor for many reasons, and I don't think it's a bad play.
Yeah.
I just think you need to have a plan, because generally speaking, if I've raised pre-flop and somebody leads into me, I'm almost never folding to one bet.
Yeah.
So have a plan.
Yeah. Chip Chairman, what's up? He says hi, Tuck. Hi, Veronica.
What's up, my man?
Oil 12, nice to see you. Droz 85, Sandy Joy. I flop him. And the Jake. The Jake, let us know if you're still in the $1,100 tournament.
Queen high flop, Cobra flops top and bottom, Wetbry flops top pair. Huge flop here for Hot Dog, who has flopped a straight draw, open-ended straight draw, and the flush draw. Turn is a 5, so Queen 8 still in the lead. Hot Dog still with an enormous draw. Somehow that checked through the flop though. Nobody bet. I mean, look at these. I mean, besides Jake.
Well, we're looking for the most entertaining, right?
Yes, this right now is the most entertaining, but I'm still talking about the hand.
Yeah, I know,
It's
but
an interesting
let's
hand.
Let's, if they pump it up, it'll entertain us.
I know we don't normally stream on Twitch on Saturday nights, so our viewer numbers are a little bit lower than normal. Do us a favor, tweet this out, get the word out. Going to be a lot of fun. There's a good chance that Veronica is going to get nude at some point tonight, so let everybody know.
Yes.
Yes. At some point tonight, Veronica Brill will be nude.
No one wants to see that, but yes.
So we got a bet of 25, and then Cobra makes it 150. Wapperai's going to let the king queen go. Back over to Hot Dog, and you can see even with just 10 high right now against 2 pair, he is only a 3-2 dog, and he is going to call. Looking for a 6, a jack, or a diamond. That's not going to do it.
Cobra fills up, and he's not going to make any money here.
Now,
Not on the river, not on the river.
Yeah, and at this point, I mean, you've got to try to put your opponent on a hand. Like, okay, what kind of hand does my opponent have? Does he have a big queen he called really quick, or does he have a huge draw? What's the best way for me to get value? And he's going to bet, and obviously, if he knew what Hot Dog had, he'd probably check. But the game's really easy from where we're at.
Yeah, of course.
So once again, you can vote. Remember, 1 vote per IP address. So if you want to get more than 1 vote in, wink, wink, you can do that using your computer and maybe your phone. Right. And right now, you can vote for most entertaining player. Cobra.
I like the computer.
Right, your computer. Right. Does anybody even use a computer anymore, like desktops?
No, I don't think so. A laptop has all of the power of a desktop.
My iPhone has all the power of a desktop.
Yeah, almost.
Si Wong, have 4s. A raise by Igor to $10 under the gun. Actually, I think it's a straddle.
Probably, yes.
Can you straddle to more than 6?
Yes, you can straddle up to half your stack at stones.
Fantastic.
Gambling hall. That's
I like
what we
it.
call gambling
Yeah,
hall.
they're gambling. So Igor has actually, so he is straddled to 10. Jake calls. Si Wong calls. Ryan Gosling calls. My wife, by the way, has such a crush on Ryan Gosling.
And Igor is pumping it up here.
My wife would 100% cheat on me with Ryan Gosling.
Any wife would.
Would you?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay.
If he just Yeah, I don't know. Ryan Gosling's a sexy.
Would you cheat on your husband with this Ryan Gosling though? With the Asian Ryan Gosling?
No. And I probably wouldn't cheat on him even with the real Ryan Gosling, just in my mind.
In your mind,
Dream
you would.
about him. Yeah.
Right. In your mind, you already have.
Well, yeah, a million times.
Right.
Yeah, you've seen Drive. Come on.
You know, it's kind of funny. It's like, from a guy's perspective, I think when you're younger, look at that. Siwong was already ahead with
Bing.
fours, and somehow he got to the turn, and he has now spiked his set.
And check. Oh no, sorry.
It's Igor's option,
first
yeah.
act, yeah.
So you can actually see the players indented out. That's whose turn it is to act.
I was just checking. I just was checking to see if he got checked too.
Right.
But no.
Now keep in mind, Igor did not bet the flop. So you try to think of, okay, what kind of hands does he have here? And if you don't think he has an incredibly strong range, you might just call this. I'm not a big fan of slow playing, but if you think the best hand Igor can have here is like King Queen, you might just call this and give Igor enough rope to hang himself. More on wives and sex and Ryan Gosling in just a moment.
But he's a sexy version of Ryan Gosling.
He is, and sure enough, Siwong could not have played this better. And this is, if you were really, really, really deep, and you were playing against a very, very, very good player, you would be a little cautious about raising here. But I would say is not applicable here, and I'm raising 98% of the time. But it's just a question of the way this hand played out. Igor either has a monster or has a somewhat marginal hand or a bluff. Nonetheless, though, we know Siwong's going to raise and Igor's going to fold, so this one will go to Siwong. So what I was saying was, when you're younger, for especially men have a huge ego about sex. They want to be good at it. It's really important to most men at a younger age to they want to be like, I want my girl to think about me.
Did he just say call?
I think he just called. Yeah, wow. Fours are going to be good. So I think men at a younger age have a bigger ego, and I think you get to a point where, at least for me, if it gets the woman in bed, I don't really care who she's thinking about.
At some point, though, when you're in love and married, you're hoping that they're...
No, I don't care.
Really?
Wait, am I getting laid?
Yes.
Then, okay. Think about whoever you want, honey. I don't care.
You're so results-orientated with sex.
Oh, 100%. Are you kidding me? It's all about the results. I don't care if I played it well. Well, but the line you took, Dave, was really good, even though it didn't work out. Now, you know what? I'd rather be lucky, okay? Very results-oriented. I mean, if Ryan Gosling, if the fantasy of Ryan Gosling is what we need to get laid, that's fine, dude. I'll put a poster
of him on the
I will put
ceiling.
a poster of him. I'll put 6 of them around the room. I don't care.
I would just want Drive playing in the background. You've seen Drive with Ryan Gosling, right?
I don't know.
I don't want this to be a Ryan Gosling commentary.
No, we'll get off that now. We're off the Ryan Gosling boat. I just wanted to.
Because I can stay on that boat all day long.
I just wanted to suggest the difference between a very young boy and a young man. King 10, by the way.
Where's the young man that you're talking about?
Somebody turn her mic off. Bob, turn her mic off. Turn it off. King 10, by the way, is going to win this if it goes to showdown. But Igor is going to, he knows he can't win it with 9 high. And look at this. Waprai calls with King high. Nice call by Waprai.
Wow.
By the way, if you get caught bluffing, I'm a big believer of show. Because I want to see what my opponent called me down with. Wouldn't it be really interesting? Nobody at the table knows. Igor doesn't know that Waprai called him down with just King high. And I think I would want to know that.
Jake and I talked about this in our last live stream, how Sammy Faha used to show when he would call down with a marginal hand and get caught bluffing, or call... Yeah, he would get caught bluffing, and it would be part of his game. Like
shove me?
Yeah, because I want you looking when I talk to you.
Talk to me?
It's a part of the game, like, hey, you can't bluff me. I'll call you down. Here's what I called you with. That's what you're talking about?
Well, I mean, it creates a whole different element. I just want to know information. I want to know, right now, I want to know how Rye would play King 5. Now I know that he called a raise pre-flop with King 5. I know that he's capable of calling down that light. You can get a lot of information.
I'm seeing a new WAP ride today, and I think this is for the cameras because he's normally not doing this.
That's good.
I'm liking.
Robert raised to 16. Once again, this is a 1-3 game. Cobra calls with the King Deuce from the cutoff. Igor calls. So far, Cobra and Igor are by far the most active players.
Andrew Null says that Wapri's acting like this, playing like this because of the shirt. Obviously.
Good for him. Interesting flop here. So King Deuce, still the best hand, plus a flush draw. So Cobra with the best of it right now, but he was not the pre-flop raiser. And it checks through. Ace of Diamonds on the turn.
By the way, your 2005 commentary, there were a few things that I thought were kind of cute. Not from you, but your co-host at the time.
And Cobra already had the best of it with King High. Hits a pair of deuces on the river. Wasn't the card he was looking for, but we'll see if he gets the showdown or not. Can Robert fight him? Nope, Robert can't represent the ace. He checks it back, and a pair of deuces is going to win it. I have listened to most of my shows in my life.
The old ones, yeah?
No, and then the new ones I try to go back and take notes. Okay, what worked, what sucked, what can I get better at, so forth and so on. And it's funny how far poker has come from 2005.
Oh, yeah.
Not only commentary. I mean, obviously as a commentator, it's one thing.
Limit mostly back then.
No, there's no limit. We had no limit on our shows.
No limit on the show, but you guys were mainly limit players. And the commentator, the girl that was with you, was shocked at raising on the button and in position. And it was kind of weird because now it's so normal.
The game is so different.
Yeah.
Hot dog raises to 7. Actually, that's a straddle. So if it's an under the gun raise, we don't actually put the word straddle in there. If you see a UTG raise, it's almost always a straddle.
I'm trying to get them to change that in the graphics.
And say straddle?
It's something we're working on.
Gotcha. Once again, this is the Stones Live Survivor Series. Pretty exciting. Over the next 9 weeks, each and every Saturday night, a cash game will be played here at Stones, and you have an opportunity to win a $10,000 WSOP main event seat for free. That's right, zero money. And each Saturday, this cash game will be viewed on Twitter, and you at home will be able to vote for the players. If you actually want to join us, though, you can.
Submit a bio.
Yeah.
You can come play and gain hours to get on, or you can win a tournament.
Yeah, details, what is it, Stones...
StonesGamblingHall.com. Oh, that's the voting.
/Survivor.
/Survivor. There we go.
Yeah. All the details are there.
Series.
So you can join in. Actually, we are now accepting applications for event number 2, which is next Saturday, to 2-5 No Limit Hold'em on April 23rd. Send a paragraph or two to stonesurvivor@stonesgamblingHall.com. Include your name and contact info. Be funny. Be creative. Have a good time with it.
Yes,
Tell us why you should represent Stones at the World Series of Poker.
It's really cool when we get the bios. Justin puts them out without putting the names down, without putting birthdays, so we don't know who they are, and we just vote on the bios. And generally, we enjoy the funny, creative ones more than I am the best cash game player and I will crush everybody kind of stuff,
Right, especially if you do it in if you send an audio file and you do it in that voice. That's just weird. What?
I was reading something and then I just listened to what you said about my voice.
I like the voice. That was pretty hot. I'm going to turn me on.
Behold, the stack of doom. I like to do that every once in a while.
Igor raising again. 11 minutes left in category number 2, which is voting for the most entertaining player. In your opinion, who has been the most entertaining player?
Waprai. Waprai with the 6-4. Up Of course, he flopped the nuts, but he was, taking his game out on an edge and then calling out light on the river with a king high and winning. It was king high, right?
Was. I mean, basically nut no pair. There was an ace and 2 queens out there.
Or do you want us to announce that?
I just wanted to show you.
Oh. We know who got the most votes last time.
For category 1. We're not going to announce that till the end, though. We don't want to influence.
We're not influencing action.
What's up to Sheets? Salad grinder? Kitty bear?
Yola and Doug.
Thanks for spending your Saturday night with us, guys. Really exciting. I'll be back here next Saturday as well. 2-5 no limit hold'em. And then I am back in Sacramento on May 14th. But this will be going on every Saturday night, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. And Stones Live, by the way, of course, here every Monday and Wednesday. And if you want to, the third Wednesday of every month, it's Veronica and Friends. They play poker, they sell sex toys. It's fantastic. You strike.
Get me fired.
By the way, you strike me as the kind of woman who would host like a sex toy party.
Never.
Really?
Never. I would never do that. It's so corny. Never. I've gone to one. They're fun. No, I would never host. I don't host parties and all that stuff. I hate all that stuff. Tupperware. I'd rather be a degenerate here.
By the way, this is one of the things I love about the games here at Stones. So if you wanted to join this game, you saw the biggest stack was $842. You could now play in this game.
For $840.
You could buy in for $840. Which suddenly makes all the games here a lot more interesting. Because I always get annoyed when, you come into a casino, there's a 2-5 game or a 1-3 game, and 3 or 4 guys have like $2,000 or $3,000 because the game's been going on for hours.
And you can buy it for $500?
Yeah, and it's like, okay, great. I want to feel like I'm in the same game with them.
Yeah.
So the nice thing is you can actually match the highest stack here. There's only a few casinos I know anywhere that you can do that. Some interesting hands here. 8s and 10s. Jake with the 8s. Loretta with the 10s. Jake is raised. I think, is Loretta 3-bet this?
She is reaching for chips, and she's just calling.
Just calls.
Looks like we've got 5-way to a flop.
5-way action, yep. Queen high flop, no suits.
We can't see what Beat has.
Yeah. Once again, Viet is the Ryan Gosling guy we keep talking about. So right now, from what we can see, 10s are the best hands. But we do not know if Viet has him beat or not.
Would you just call him RG, Ryan Gosling?
I just don't want people to get confused, though, if they're voting for him. Because they're voting for...
Oh, that's true.
By the way, you can vote for Viet or Ryan Gosling, or is there a multiple choice on the answer?
No, you can't vote for either.
Okay.
I don't know why if they were going to put Ryan Gosling, then they should have just... You could vote for Ryan Gosling. It probably would have given him more votes. Like, what? Ryan Gosling? I vote for him. I don't need to see the show.
So Jake bets, Loretta calls, Igor is going to call with a gutter. Hot Dog sticks. I'm sorry, Igor folded. Hot Dog called with a pair of 5s and a backdoor heart draw, and he gets there, running hearts. Jack of hearts, 3 of hearts, and Hot Dog gets there. Now he's going to bet, but he's not going to get. I don't think he'll get any value. His hand looks like a queen. But he checked back the turn, so maybe not.
No, they all folded.
And he shows.
So we have 7 minutes left for your vote for the most entertaining player.
That was a little fun.
Who you thought was the most entertaining? Click on the link and vote. You've got 7 minutes left. And then at 8 o'clock, we will start another round of voting. And we're doing this for a $10,000 seat for the World Series of Poker.
I'm with you on Wetbra. I think he's been very entertaining. I think Cobra's been entertaining. I think Loretta's actually been quite entertaining.
That's true, yeah. She's been pretty
active. I think Igor's entertaining too. He's so active. He plays a lot of hands. He bluffs. I think Igor's been entertaining as well.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to cast a vote.
Veronica Brill, David Tuckman here for Stones Live Gambling. We are the Stones Live Survivor Series. Who will win a 10K WSOP main event seat? Who will be the next Jamie Gold?
Jerry Yang.
Ace, 4, deuce. How about a set of deuces here for Wetbry? Unfortunately for him, nobody has much of anything. I just, you flop a set on an ace-high flop and you're thinking, bingo.
Exactly.
And unfortunately for him, nobody has anything. I mean, Si Wong's got a pair with a straight draw. He might stick around for one bet. In fact, I expect him to. And as long as Si Wong doesn't catch a 5 or a 4, this could go bet on the turn and fold. Oh, Si Wong just lets it go.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised.
I was going to see how long you're going to do commentary for on the hit.
I just don't understand. I mean, that's a pretty good flop for 5-4.
I think that some decision making will be different than if they were on a regular cash game because they want to stay on the show the entire time. They maybe don't want to gamble as much. They want to keep their chips on the table. They don't want to buy in 3 times. They want to get that 10K seat.
Could be the case. I got a message from Scott Sherman, who's an avid watcher. I know he's in the chat as well. Wanted to send me. He goes, I want Wap-Rye to slow roll seat number 2. Seat number 2 is Muscle-Bound Jake. He says, I'll cover his medical bills if he does. That dude is huge.
I'll cover his medical bills.
Yes.
Jake is actually a very nice guy. I don't think he could hurt a fly.
Well, I think he could. I don't think he would.
He wouldn't hurt a fly.
Okay. Yeah, I think he clearly could, though. So Robert Y is raised to 16, under the gun +3.
Ryan Gosling is calling here.
Yep. And Si Wong is called, Loretta is called, so 4 ways to the flop. Pot is $67. Flop is Jack 10, 3, 2 clubs. Viet D, Ryan Gosling, has flopped the best of it right now. Loretta open-ended, though. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, the problem with her hand is you don't really love it if a queen comes off.
Yes.
You don't love a queen, you don't love a club, like you really want a non-club 7.
And there it is.
Yeah, she hits the queen, she does have the best of it, but in raised pots you've got to be really wary with 9-8 when you have the ass end of the straight because somebody could very easily have ace-king.
And she just calls here.
Si Wong, by the way, still in there, I believe.
No, I think he folded.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I saw cards in front of him.
It was, yeah, check. Loretta showed the straight.
Yep. But she didn't bet the river?
No, she did not.
Wow.
What if he had ace king?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, no, it's fine. I mean,
Did he not lead out there with ace king though on the river?
that's the thing. I think a lot of players are checking that back when the club comes. I think it was more scared because the front door flush got there.
Yeah.
But in this particular game, and in most games, to be honest with you, I'm not really worried about getting check raised, bluffed.
Yeah.
Frankly, it's like if I get,
happens.
I can bet for value there with the straight, and if I get check raised, I can reevaluate and probably find a fold. But I'm going to bet that hand. Speaking of ace-king, Si Wong picks up the ace-king of clubs. Robert Y raising again. So this is the second hand in a row he's raised with some speculative hands.
So this is, we've got 2 minutes left for most entertaining player voting. He's trying to get everyone's votes.
Once again, thanks for spending your Saturday night with us. David Tuckman, Veronica Brill here for Stone's Gambling Hall. This is the Stones Live Survivor Series. We'll be here every Saturday for the next 9 weeks. Igor just moved all in. Igor said, you know what? Perfect 3-bet spot. Actually, first like 4-bet spot, and he sticks it in. Unfortunately for him, he has, it's not going to get through as Si Wong calls. But look at this, Igor, with a bunch of outs, needs a 9, a jack, or a 10, and there's a jack.
Oh, there it is.
Bingo, bango.
Ship.
Ship it.
He's like, oh my gosh.
The Russians got my vote for most entertaining.
Yeah.
The 4-bet shove with jack 10.
You can't beat that. And we got a minute left on voting, so
Yeah.
there he goes.
I like him. Now I'm gonna go.
The Russian the rest of the time. The Russian.
I just don't want to confuse our viewers, but right now I will tell you though, our 6th category is voting for most disciplined player, and the Russian's gonna have to dial it back a little bit if he wants to be disciplined.
Yeah, I mean, Do the players know? The players must know what the voting is, so they'll probably change their game. I wonder how the cash game is going to change with each voting category. So now our third category is a biggest action player who gambles the most. Now,
So biggest gambler.
Yeah, this is it. This is the fun part.
So I mean, Igor has to be the front runner, right? He is the leader out of the gate.
Yeah.
Heading into this third category, clearly Igor.
Waprite's not too far behind though.
But Igor's got the most gamble though.
Yeah, well, he's Russian. It's in the blood of Eastern European.
Yeah, I suppose. I'm a little bit worried about the 9:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. section, voting for the most disciplined player. That could be like
Slow down the game.
yeah, that could really slow the game down.
Hurt Bad, what's up? Thanks for joining us. I flop him. So they're asking if the players know the type of voting that's going on. And, I'm not sure. This is a new series for us. I'm going to find out from Justin when he comes in the booth, near the booth.
Playing 1-3. I mean, it's funny, we're talking about the Survivor Series, we're talking about all these great things. They're still playing poker. It's still a great cash game on top of everything. So, money's still being thrown around.
You know what normally happens after the cash games, after the live stream? They get bananas. They get like, oh, the cameras are off? Okay. And then it's like blood and craziness.
Right. Like full like Game of Thrones, Red
Yes.
Wedding.
Yes.
Right. King high flop, 2 spades out there. Doesn't look like anybody's got a king. Nobody's got spades. And Jake still has the best of it with 2 red 4s, but might be tough for him to get the showdown. But he bets 30. This should get through.
And again, we're voting for the biggest action player, the player that gambles the most.
Take a look at our chip count here. So Cobra with $823. Our short stack Viet D. I mean, nobody is short.
Yeah.
You relative to the blinds.
Everyone's
even
got
Viet
more than
D
100 big blinds.
Yeah, he's got 150.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
They know the order in which the votes are going, but they can't know exactly when.
Okay. So the players do know the order of voting. They probably do know when because it's a 30-minute. They can pretty much guess. So they do know the type of voting we're going to be doing. So they're probably going to be adjusting their game to the voting,
Right, makes sense.
which is very cool. It changes the dynamic of the game.
Jake raises with 2 black 9s.
Nunu 2 Poking says David and Veronica make a cute commentating couple. Nice chemistry you both have. Really? Oh, it's so awkward in the booth with him.
Yeah. I can understand that. Cobra calls. Cobra flops top pair, and this could be trouble for Jake. This is the kind of flop where, if an ace or a king come off, it's a little bit easier to get away from 2 9s.
Yeah.
But when it's just 1 overcard and the board is somewhat wet.
And he has a backdoor flush draw too.
Yeah, and the board is wet. I mean, your opponent could, he could have queen jack, he could have clubs, he could have an 8. I'm just not folding 9s that quickly. So you get a bet, you get a call. So far, pretty standard. King on the turn. Cobra's probably going to check this back. And he does. And I imagine this will go check. Well, if I'm Jake, I'm checking this one more time. It's really, really tough for him to get value from worse. Like, at this point, your opponent probably had some sort of a draw. Or maybe an 8, and I just don't know if you can get value from that hand. So Jake bets 55, and Cobra's just not going to fold.
And Jake's going to see the bad news.
Ask for the ceramic cup next time. With a teapot.
By the way, so each Saturday, we have a different cash game.
Correct.
Next week's No Limit Hold'em again. Then we've got Limit Hold'em. We've got. I think we have
08.
We have 08. We have PLO. So each Saturday is going to be a lot of
We
fun.
have some limit games too.
Right. The one that's I always point out is like in Limit Hold'em, when we're betting for value on the river, don't worry about what your opponent has as much. in limit, we can value bet so thinly because your opponent's getting such great odds, they're not going to make many hero laydowns. So let them decide what they call you with. But in no limit hold'em, we really should be putting our opponent on a range of hands, and we need to know what they're going to call us with. Does that make sense?
Just writing this down.
Yeah.
Well, it's free lessons right now, so I don't need to.
Jake raises to 15. Is that a straddle? So it's $15
That was
straddle?
probably a straddle, yes.
Yeah.
6-4, yes.
Igor raises, so Igor made it 45. Jake calls.
This is a 1-3 game. This is a 1-3 game.
Okay.
That's playing like a 5-10.
Well, it's 1-3-15.
Yeah.
Pair fours for Jake, Igor with sevens. Expect more money to go in. V, by the way, also in the pot. I don't know why we can't see his cards ever.
Yeah, usually when players are new to the game, it just tends to...
Is he new?
Yeah, I haven't seen him on our live stream, so...
By the way, he claims he looks like Ryan Gosling from far away if you squint.
Everywhere it says the Asian Ryan Gosling.
So Igor bets 60. There's a call. Turn is the ace of spades. And this is the kind of card that would kill action. Oh, 2 more aces out there. Another ace, I should say. So 2 aces total.
Check.
It's going to get checked down. Both players think they have showdown value, and sevens are going to be good.
Igor's not showing. Oh, Igor shows. I'm like, what is he doing? Do you ever see someone make a mistake, fold, and then say, oh my gosh?
I've done it. I mean, you play enough poker, you're going to make a mistake at some point.
Yeah.
Throwing away the winner sucks.
Yeah, I did it in a tournament. I threw away a full house.
Good job.
Anyway.
I mean, it's really low-hanging fruit, but I'm not above, picking the low-hanging fruit. And there's a reason. I mean, you're the Polish blonde. I mean, I'm assuming people go there already, right?
You're just getting me more action. You're just gonna get me paid more at the tables when you continue like this. I'm just letting you know. You're making it harder for everyone else.
Right.
Oh, she's a dumb blonde?
No, not you're the Polish blonde.
Oh.
It goes one step further.
Oh, okay. I saw what you called your show. Polish blonde.
Yes. Yes, I host a weekly podcast called Under the Gun, which is kind of cool. And I had the lovely Polish blonde on my left call in. So, but you couldn't call in. You couldn't figure out how to do it.
No, you weren't answering the phone. You weren't answering. I called. I was like stalking, and that was the last time I was trying. And then I was going to give up and go into stones.
Si Wong makes it $10. This pot was not straddled. Jake calls.
He almost threw the chips across the room by accident.
And he flops a pair of fours. Unfortunately for him, Wong with top pair. Check call. Jake's going to call there. And spike 2 pair.
not pretty enough to go to Vegas.
Really no reason for Si Wong not to continue firing. I mean, I think you can get value from a lot of hands that are worse than yours, and you really want, I mean, you're hoping and praying your opponent's got like a king-jack hand. Jake decides not to check raise the turn.
He wants
I would
Si
check
Wong.
raise the river.
Yeah, he wants Si Wong to continue betting into him.
And Si Wong's going to bet one more time, and I can't blame him. I think this is a good value bet, especially at this level.
The thing is, when Jake check raises, is Si Wong gonna call?
No, he doesn't.
Oh,
Jake
he
just
does?
calls.
Oh. Is he afraid of an ace-3? 3-6?
I mean, his thinking might be maybe I can't get called by worse. But at this level, I'm going to raise and just...
Hope I get called to the king?
Yeah, I just think, I mean, I'm not saying that these particular players are call down monkeys, but I think there are a lot of players who play 1-3 who can't fold aces.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what.
Yeah.
And if your opponent has aces there, or ace-king, you know, maybe they can't fold. I want to give them a chance to not fold.
Yeah. I'm learning so much from you.
Shut up.
Send me your bill when we're done.
You can pay me in other ways. I mean, actually, you already have paid me in other ways. Veronica picked me up at the airport today and took me over to her house.
Introduced you to my family.
I was gonna leave that out.
It was like
Just your-
everybody in the room was David, and then it was Veronica.
Right, Veronica's husband is David. Veronica's son named David. And so we were there, including Lon. And you made a delicious lunch. I give you credit. That was.
I made that apple pie for Lon. I allowed you to have a piece.
So good. Homemade apple pie, meatballs, the salad, the lentils. It was quite good. Strongly advise you all, strongly encourage you all to become friends with Veronica. Stalk her like I do and get invited to her house for dinner, for lunch. So we got an open here, and then we have a 3-bet. And White Bri thinking, why did I do it now? Darn. Robert putting the old sweatshirt over the mouth thing.
Yeah, that's his style. He does that all the time.
A lot of players think that they're giving up a lot by doing that. Wow.
See, Wapra, you're trying to get the votes right now for the most gambling player, so a call there would have been positive EV for a 10K seat.
I could even say that a call there might have been positive EV regardless. I mean, he was only calling, it was 49, the pot was 170, and you have to assume...
Huge implied odds, maybe.
Well, yeah, you have to assume that Robert is not 3-betting to that size without a huge overpair.
Yeah.
So if you were to flop... Now, I mean, I'm not often saying call out of position with suited connectors, but when your opponent 3-bets so small...
And a 10K seat is on the line.
And by the way, Robert's got a lot of money in front of him. I think I call.
I call there. But I have gamble in my blood. I have gamble in my blood.
J-Hob says he's here to support Brian Watson, who is Wet Bri. Everybody's here for somebody, right?
Yes. So up until 8:30, you can vote for the most gambling player.
Yeah. Who's got gamble in them? Tens again. Igor makes it 15 with tens. Cobra does not call, and we move on. We continue along here at the Survivor Series. Next Saturday, once again, 2-5 No Limit Hold'em. That's April 23rd. Join us, 7 p.m. Same bat time, same bat channel.
You and Val. Val's one of the best poker players we got here. Not just a great female poker player, but she's a very competent tournament player. She plays PLO cash with the big boys. You're gonna like you some Val. You have to. Your name has to start with a V in Sacramento if you want to be a commentator as a female. Veronica and Val. And then
Right.
Jake, Justin are male commentators.
Nice win, Jake. Nice win.
Fair enough. So where do I fit in? I'm just here as a
You're
guest.
just an extra guest.
Right.
So we'll allow.
By the way, we can look through the booth and we can see the entire poker room, including the long-legged
Lon
Karen.
Karen playing with his dog with him.
Yes, his dog is with him. Ace, King, 8, not exactly the flop you're looking for when you have 10s. It feels like every other hand somebody's got 10s.
I don't know how Lon McCarran gets that 300-pound dog on his lap while he's playing poker.
Because when they do a sort like bacon, you know, they got the taste of that. Like salt and bacon anytime.
So Cobra can continue firing. Viet can't beat much. He's going to give it up.
And
Good lay down.
Mustache 707 asked if you're doing commentary on Live at the Bike 519. And they're asking if I'm playing on it because I was going to go in May to play.
If Veronica plays, I might do commentary on it. Probably not though, because I'm going to the World Series of Poker like 10 days after that.
Yeah.
So I'm probably not going to be doing commentary there.
If you guys ever want to improve your game, go and play on a live stream. Get on our live stream and watch yourself play. If you're serious about poker, it's amazing how badly you don't even realize your leaks, how bad your leaks are, because sometimes there's leaks that you can find within your game, but then the way you're acting, it might show up. So
yeah.
I played really, really bad.
No, I think honestly, you can come down to Stone's Gambling Hall. You can play here. What is it? Every Monday and Wednesday, or again, you can check out Stone's the site here. So it's stonesgamblinghall.com/survivor.
Survivor Series.
Survivor Series, and get details and play Saturday night.
Yeah.
not only play, not only be able to watch yourself and learn, win some money, but get a chance at a 10K main event seat.
It's positive EV all around. 5, 7, 8's the flop. 2 hearts.
Wrap right at the top pair.
Sorry, I took over there, and I'm used to you doing it.
I like it. It's okay, hey. We passed the ball around.
How about you be the Q1 in the booth for once in a while?
I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's clear that you and I are both about 8 years past our prime.
You're about 12 years past your prime.
Wow. Strong words from Veronica Brill.
I didn't argue the 8 years past my prime. I'm okay with me.
By the way, ace high still the best hand. Wrap rise 10-8 did not stick around. And Loretta's going to win it with queen high as she bets and takes that one down. Good bluff by her. Girl's got she's got some gamble in her.
I'm telling you, she does not let anyone push her around.
Yeah.
She won a deep stack event that we had here, and it's on the live stream if anyone wants to go back and watch it. She's a great player, great tournament player. She says she doesn't play cash very much, but looks like she's doing well so far. I'm so excited for Lon McCarran to try this one. You know, it's like my dream come true. We've got you know what, McCarran.
I hear this. You just kiss anybody's ass you can. You said that to me 3 months ago. It's my dream come true to work with you.
I said you and Lon McCarran.
Now it's your dream to work with Lon.
Lon McCarran is
You want to work with, you know what?
Event.
You want every guy in this booth. You disgust me. Stones Live Survivor Series, guys.
You hate being loved. You hate it.
By the way, if you haven't yet, click on the heart while you watch this, and you will be alerted every single time that we go live.
Which is Mondays, Wednesdays, and now Saturdays for 10 weeks.
Yeah. Queen 7-3, no suits out there. That's what we call a dry flop. And right now it looks like Robert Y has the best of it with a pair of 7s. And that is correct, be it with the King Jack off suit. And obviously I'm here, you know, and I'm representing Stones, but I wouldn't be here if I didn't love this poker room. It is really a nice poker room.
It is.
I gotta hand it to the design, the architecture. It's one of the nicest poker rooms I've been in, and I've been in a lot.
Yeah, my husband came down here and he was like, wow, I wasn't expecting this. I thought it was going to be a slum, you know? And it's beautiful in here, top notch.
Restaurant's great.
No
They've
smoke.
done a really good job. Yeah, no smoke. And Igor's bluffing.
I like it.
Yeah, he bet $60. Robert Y's got to decide what he wants to do. $60 into 88. So Robert Y getting a little bit more than 2-1 to call this. Could Igor be bluffing, you know, enough of the time to make this a profitable call?
Is Robert going to hero this?
Well, I mean, you got to start thinking, I mean, how many aces does Igor have? He's going to pay him off. And a nice call here by Robert Y.
And you have to take into consideration the voting right now for the most gamble, and Robert might be thinking that Igor's doing this just for the votes.
Yeah, it could be the case. I mean, it's not.
But it was a small bet.
Different. By the way, it's not that different to when you guys had that bluff pot.
Yes.
When you introduce that, anytime you introduce a new dynamic into the game, whether you're playing the deuce to 7 game, whether you've got a bluff pot, whether you're doing voting, whether you're playing on a live stream, all of these things factor into everybody's decision and factor into the dynamic in the game, and it changes things. And if you're not using all of that information to make your decisions, you're doing yourself a disservice.
They're asking if they can vote for the dealer because he's handling the cards beautifully.
You can vote for the dealer in 9 weeks.
In 9 weeks, we'll have
Our last week we have an employees game, and it'll be 9 Stone employees, and you can vote for the winner.
Stone's employees.
What did I say?
Stone.
Stone. No, we're gonna. In 9 weeks we will have 9 stoned employees.
Sure, yeah,
Right?
they might
9
do that
stoned
too.
employees. How's that?
Yeah,
You like
sure.
that? So Jake raises.
No one takes pictures of me
Cobra calls.
when you're not here.
And Cobra out flops Ace King. Ace King, no, not getting much luck here at this table. Rick and Barstow, my man. Love me some Rick and Barstow. Third spade out there, neither player with a spade in their hand. Queen Jack, still the best hand. Kind of expect us to go check now. No, Cobra's gonna bet.
Yeah, you know, there's a hall monitor at every table.
Hi.
We're getting our pictures taken. So.
You know what? It's nice. We're letting let the game breathe a little bit.
Yeah, we should let the game breathe. Air it out, like bed sheets.
And the Ace King folds. Cobra now up to nearly $1,000. Robert Y just under 1,000. DR short stack, but it's a cash game. You can reload whenever you want. You can get up whenever you want. Now that's one thing that's interesting. We haven't seen anybody get up yet, but if somebody does get up from the game, they're still eligible to win based on the votes they got previously, but they will not be included in the next category going forward. Speaking of the next category, we have 10 minutes left in category 3, which is voting for the biggest action player with the most gamble.
Yes, probably my favorite category.
Yeah?
I love watching this and gamble.
Mine is Luckiest.
And Rick and Barstow says, despite what you said in the commentary, he was not the nittiest player at that table.
That might be the case.
Rick and Barstow, if you call off with 7-3, 7 high, he'll change his mind. But only Veronica can do that.
Yeah, in all fairness, he might not have been the nittiest player at that particular table. Doesn't change the fact that he's a nitty player. Ray's here from Cobra with the suited connector.
You heard it, Rick and Barstow.
Hey, you can use that though. If everybody in the world thinks he's nitty,
He could bluff so easily.
I mean, if you 3-bet with queens and Rick and Barstow 4-bet you,
I'd probably fold.
yeah.
100%.
You wet your panties first.
It would
You
excite
pee in
me.
your pants.
No,
Oh, wow. I wasn't even going there.
7-4 deuce on the flop rainbow.
Yeah.
Cobra gets the best of it. Rick and Barstow's a handsome guy. Have you seen his hair?
Yeah. Stones Live.
I'm fired after tonight. What's the next category? This is starting to get really fun.
The most skilled player.
Ooh, see, and that, I don't know. I think that's very subjective. You know, because some players.
Isn't everything subjective?
Yeah, but
Okay.
but even more so with the skilled, because it is you can have a strong bias. Like you might think that maybe women aren't great poker players, so you'll already think Cobra, because you see Cobra on our live stream, you'll think Cobra's already the most skilled player. So you know what I mean?
All right.
I think it's a category that has an easy bias.
I mean, the interesting thing is, the one category we don't have here is a player you think would have the best tournament run.
Yeah, that would be a great category.
It's an interesting.
Chip front 11, please.
Slip it in.
Slip it in.
Maybe next week, we'll see. We can slip that one in. Player who you think will have the best tournament, because I have my opinion on that, but it's not really necessarily any of the categories here.
So who do you think right now, based on what you've seen, would play the best at the World Series of Poker?
Play the best, or have the best run, have the best chance of kind of making it, have the best chance
run.
of like going like day 4, day 5.
Yeah. Who do you think?
Chips on 11, please.
I kind of feel like Loretta or Robert Y.
Very
Because I feel like the main event, the World Series main event, is so different than any other tournament.
Yeah.
And you really need patience because the levels are so long. You can really let the game come to you. You can wait for your spots. Robert Y strikes me as the kind of guy who would sit there for hours and fold and wait for his spots. And because he is a younger Asian guy, he'll probably get action when he doesn't deserve it. Even though he's been nitty, people will assume he's more aggressive than he is.
Yeah.
And he'll get the action that he doesn't even deserve, technically. 7 high flop, ace 9, still the best hand here. There's 2 diamonds out there, Robert Y with the diamond in his hand. Loretta, I feel like, because she plays against her image, because she is... because she's not a younger woman or a man, people will probably assume she's a lot tighter than she is.
Yeah.
So she'll be able to get a few bluffs here and there. And my guess is, I also from what she doesn't chase her bad money. Like when she made that bluff earlier on, okay, it didn't work, I'll check it back, I'm done with it.
Yeah.
She strikes me as the kind of person who could put it out and run the game.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I like that. I also think Cobra would make a nice run of it.
Cobra could do one of two things. I feel like Cobra could be out in 3 hours, or he could be the chip leader after day 2.
Yeah, yeah. One thing about Cobra I noticed is that he doesn't get crazy with the tilt. He's very calm. He can take bad beats.
Igor, by the way, he's the kind of guy, he could be out in level 1 or be day 1 chip leader as well.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
You know?
There was a live one pregame going.
But yeah, I mean, if you were to ask me, okay, Dave, who are you going to back? Who would you back?
Yeah.
I don't traditionally back anybody, but it would probably be the Robert Y. Loretta or maybe Cobra, but honestly, probably Robert Y. Loretta. Right now,
like it.
right now.
I
But
like
I mean,
it.
hey, our sample size is so ridiculously small. We've been playing for
But
an
you're
hour.
very, very accurate about Robert.
We've been playing for an hour and 25 minutes. Now, I'd like to see Robert have the ability to kind of mix his game up, but we might not see that today, and he might still have that in his arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, 3 hours is a short span of his entire game, so.
It's such a small sample size.
So we've got 5 minutes left for voting for the most gambling player.
Hey, who's got the most gamble in them, guys? Come on, step it up. Thank you once again. Thank you for spending your Saturday night with me and the lovely Veronica. They're Polish blonde.
The meatball maker.
Yeah, we've got Meatball Maker alongside Know-It-All Jackass.
That's perfect.
Hey, guess who it is? Who's the Know-It-All Jackass? Igor with the flush draw and the overcards. Big flop for him. Cobra with... Oh, no, I'm sorry. For some reason, I saw Igor. I thought he had Queen 10 of hearts, but Queen 10 offsuit. So he folds. Cobra now to $1,100.
And I'm not surprised because Cobra is a cash game assault weapon.
Yeah, and I also, but at the same time, I don't want to suggest the other players at the table aren't good.
No, I agree.
But I think Cobra is playing beneath his normal level. So it would be the equivalent, okay, if we were to watch an NBA basketball player play with college players,
Yeah.
you might go, wow, this guy's amazing. He looks so good. Doesn't mean he's not really good,
Yeah.
but he's playing beneath his level. And I think Cobra is probably the most experienced cash game player, used to playing much higher. And I think, in a cash game format, in this particular, against this lineup, he is going to do very well, provided he doesn't spew money because it's too small for him.
Yeah. If you're a fan of our show and you watch on a regular basis, Cobra is one of Jake's favorites. And
Yeah, Jake has an
has a crush.
I love Cobra shirt at
Yeah.
home. By the way, speaking of Cobra, he flops the stones. 7-6 on the 5-4-3 flop, and this could get interesting if Siwang wants to, because Siwang has got a pair, he's got a gutter, and he also has the ace of clubs. And that's an interesting card because, well, oh wow, now it's definitely going to get interesting because Siwang has just made the wheel. Cobra with the absolute stone cold nuts. And if I'm Cobra, I am.
Getting in your car, driving to Value Town.
And I'm gonna start building this pot up.
Yeah.
And in fact, I'm probably gonna bet bigger than just 30 on the turn there. So I want to build a pot up.
There was $66 in the pot, and he bet 30.
Yeah, I might even bet 50 on the turn there, or 60. I want to get called by an ace.
And he's getting raised.
No, just called. Right?
No, this looks like a raise.
Wow, that's a.
Just a min raise.
Yeah,
And
that's-
Cobra's like, I've got the nuts. Oh, what is he raising with? Does he have an ace?
Yeah, and this is a spot where, I mean, honestly, if I'm Cobra, I want to get all his chips because when Siwang raises me on the turn, I think he might have a 6.
Yeah.
He might have had 6-4 or 6-5, and if he's got a 6, I want it all.
Yeah.
I might not get it all against an ace.
So Cobra
oh,
just
and look at
calls.
this. He just calls, and the river's the ace.
And the ace of diamonds, so backdoor diamonds got there.
Yeah,
If
really,
that was the case.
obviously a really bad card for Cobra. And Siwang is the check raise on the turn. Very ambitious. I don't know what he's trying to get called by. Just tough to get value from your hand, from anything worse. I mean, you can get value maybe from like a flush draw. And now he's going to bet here. This is a please don't raise me bet. Please don't raise me and let's just chop it up.
Cobra's reaching for green chips.
Yeah.
Is that a call? That has to be.
No, he's going to
Insta-muck.
raise.
Insta-muck.
And he shows. And look at that. And Cobra shows. And Cobra's going to win that. I think I probably bet bigger if I'm Cobra on the turn. And I think I definitely raise the turn. Simply because I feel like my opponent's not bluffing there almost ever on a 2, 3, 4, 5 board. And there's a chance my opponent has a 6. And if he has a 6, he might lose it all.
Yeah.
And by the way, Siwang had $700 in front of him.
Yeah. That is a pretty small
I just don't know
pond
if
for that.
players at this level can fold a 6. Now, he might have been able to fold an ace before the river, but I don't know if he's folding a 6.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have a little, like it's like getting dessert after a meal.
I don't think this is a dessert. I think this is the meal.
I picture Mama Karen as my cupcake that I just savor.
Forgive me if I don't picture Lama Karen as my cupcake.
But Mama Karen's coming in the booth. Let's get him in here.
Yeah, Lama Karen is definitely not my cupcake. But if I was to think of like, a steak, like a New York steak on the grill, that's Lon McCarran. Lon McCarran is my New York steak.
Beef steak.
How
Hi,
are
Dave.
you?
Good to be working
How
with
are
you,
you,
buddy.
man?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Hi, Lon. Nice to see you.
How are you? All good.
Fine,
All
thank
good.
you.
This is not every day do any of us get to work with the great Lon McCarran. How are
Nobody
you?
does. Nobody does every
I'm trying to
day.
get as close as I can to Lon.
Well, you could frame. You got to frame it up right. How's it going?
It's going great. We are just entering Category 4, by the way. So voting is closed for the biggest player with the most gamble, but we are jumping into Category 4. Once again, this is Stone's Live Survivor Series. The winner of tonight will be voted on by you. It's up to you at home to vote.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's really cool. The players at home can choose who they want to win, and on June 18th, I think it is, June 18th, 9 players will play a sit and go. The winner of that will get a $10,000 WSOP main event seat, and who knows, maybe turn that into millions.
The main event is it.
It is.
I mean, the main event is the ball.
If you're a poker player.
Worldwide, you just have to say main event. It is life-changing money. I mean, there are still, 8 other opportunities for folks to sign up, get down here, play, win the seat, life-changing money, even if you finish 100th. So for some people,
Yes.
And it's also, I was telling earlier,
In the main
the
event.
best tournament anywhere. It's just
and every pro who loves to complain about every tournament and every structure will say, I love the main event.
there is nothing like it. If you are a poker player, and I assume you are since you're watching this on a Saturday night, if you're not a poker player, hey,
What are you doing?
no,
Thank you.
they could be watching for something else. Nonetheless, though, this is a tournament that should be on your bucket list. 4th category, we are voting for the most skilled player. So those of you at home watching this, who is the most skilled player?
So they've had an hour and a half or
we've
so,
had
right?
3 rounds of voting already.
Right, okay.
And so now we're on the 4th category. So most skilled player. Now they've got to change it up because we were voting for the most gambling player, and now they've got to maybe try to improve their game, not have so much gamble, try to get a little more skilled. Can they do it?
Yeah.
The players know what's going on. The players know the category. And the skill should have come out within an hour and a half or so of play, or a couple hours that they've been playing, not all on here. This is my Twitch debut, by the way.
Is it really?
Why would I be on Twitch otherwise?
This is fantastic.
My
I feel like
Twitch
you were basically a Twitch virgin until today.
We popped your cherry?
Exactly.
Dave Tuck, Veronica Brill popped your cherry. He's
Wow.
You know what? It's funny. We all thought that, but none of us would go there. There's a
I went
line.
there.
There is a line. We all saw it, and we all said, "No, let's not go there." And
Go
leave
this way a little
it
bit.
leave it to Veronica Brill to
Yeah,
go there.
That's fine. I'm fine. If somebody's going to do it, why not
Veronica.
both of you at the same time?
It certainly wasn't going to be me. Yeah. There you have it. We are making Twitch history. Lon McCarran, let's just get back to the game. So we're playing 1-3. It's been a very entertaining game up till now.
Jake!
Yeah.
My man.
Do you realize, his arm is bigger than
Your
my
head?
leg.
All right, let's put it out there. How much, what's his bench press record? You have any idea? What would you think?
I can guess.
Yes.
275.
No, way more than that. I would say 360.
please.
All right. Anybody on
Should
chat?
we do it over under?
I would set the line at 340.
Okay,
and I would
everyone.
take action on that.
Everyone put
I know.
over under.
By the way.
I would set the action
I
at
know,
345,
so-
340, and I would take action on that. I would think it's somewhere in the 350-ish range, 360.
All right, we'll give him a couple minutes.
But it could very easily be it could be very easily 415.
So they're going to do over under for 340. You said?
No, I said 360 is my guess.
360
No, but
says-
you set the line at 340.
Nah, I'm gonna stick 360.
Okay, the line's at 360. Everyone
Changes
put
the
your
line.
I'm changing the line.
Changes the line.
What are you talking about?
360.
Lines change all the time.
put your over under
First 10 seconds.
in the line.
Oh, look, Hubbard's got aces against.
I got I got sharp money. A lot of sharp money came in right away on the over, so I had to push that.
Okay, all right. What do we got here? We got 340. There's somebody saying 340 right on your old line. So it's
Over. They said over 340. Over 340.
I think that's a very easy line. I'll give the answer in 1 minute.
The Jake 427 says 450. He's a big. I mean, you see big dudes. In fact, Hot Dog in seat 1 is a big guy. He's a grandfather. He's got 8 grandchildren, 1 on the way, so 9 total will be. And he's a big man. But
No, he's not.
there's
Not there, not that
that's
shot.
what I mean. They are. He's a big guy compared to me, you know, and most men.
I don't have a second hand on this one. Oh, there it is. Okay. 30 more seconds. What do we got? We got 425. The Montes is
Everyone's
425.
taking the over.
Yeah, but we got numbers.
I guess it was an easy line.
So over 360, but
That was
under
an easy one.
390. Top 2 pair, Murph.
All right, so Cobra the skiing. I guess Ace is there. Okay, Cobra with the race, of course.
Since Alana influenced my thought process now.
All right, so Jake told me just last week, 437.
437 pounds.
Oh my God.
Right? So who was that? Montez or was that his name? Who's that? The Moon.
XX.
Good job, man. You were close. So yeah, big dude. Played with him in a tournament the other night against Jake. Very nice guy. He's got a daughter. He's here all hours, and then you got to go take care of the daughter. He was falling asleep at the table, but he's always drinking, always hydrating, always protein. That's what I learned from him.
For those of you who might be surprised by this, that is significantly higher than my lifetime max bench press.
Combined total of all.
All of my
All
bench
the bench
presses, right?
presses you've ever
All
had.
of the reps I ever had. Right.
Very nice.
You might be shocked by that. So, Lon McCarron, David Tuckman, Veronica Brill here for Stones Gambling Hall. This is the Stones Live Survivor Series.
Just one of many things going on. You know, as the ambassador of Stones, I'm going to pump it. You see the Hydra there going on. That's going to be a lot of fun. Always doing something different, giving away a main event seat. It's a ball. It's a ball being here, ball playing.
I've been talking up this poker room, and
Easy too.
yeah, I was going to say, I mean, a lot of times, you know, you get paid or you're a spokesperson or something and you feel like, okay, how do I spin this? You don't have to spin this. This is easy.
Yeah, if you just walk around the room, and I hope at some point I hope people can. It's the steer horns, the longhorn steer horns down there that I love. That's what really drew me in.
I really love the service. Every time I come here, you get food right away. You get drinks right away. Anything you need. A lot of places you gotta wait. And the lack of smoke.
This is a great thing about the streams too. You look at all these hands, and you think, oh, I don't have anything. Nobody has anything very usually, you know. I mean, there's pocket tens. Okay, Loretta's got a pocket, but big hands are rare.
Yeah, tens are cheap at this particular
Yeah,
table.
it's like every hand here.
It's a
with
great
tens.
learning experience to be able to watch these games and see what's going on.
Watch yourself.
Is that Mike Madison right next to Jake?
Looks like it,
There
right?
it is, right there, the yellow submarine.
So Cobra raises to 13. Igor has been very active. Loretta just calls.
And see, this just proves one more thing about poker players. Even though there's a category, I think, for best dressed, nobody cares.
Now this is an interesting flop. 8 high flop, 2 clubs out there. So Cobra with the overcards plus the flush draw. Cobra was the original raiser. Loretta with the over pair. Now Loretta's a tournament player. It'll be interesting to see how aggressive she gets with her tens, and she leads out for $75.
Igor with top pair.
And Igor doesn't like to fold.
Yeah, I mean, you love top pair. That's what you gotta worry about, though. Somebody else out there with the bigger pair,
That's the story of my life.
right?
So Loretta has led out after just calling with 10. She leads out. Now we saw her do this earlier with basically nothing.
Yes.
That's kind of a let me find out where I'm at bet. This time it's no, I think I've got the best hand with 10s. I'm gonna bet. I don't want this to get checked around. Cobra just calls.
With his flush draw.
And I gotta tell you, if I'm Igor, alarm bells go off. I got a lead out and a call. How much do you really like your Jack 8?
Exactly.
It's not gonna stop him though. He calls. He's determined.
There's the 2 pair.
Oh, but it's a club. It's a Jack of clubs. So we got 2 pair
That is
here.
gonna be painful.
Yeah, it's a really good card for Loretta in the sense that she's not going to lose any more money. Obviously, she had the lead. But if like a red king had come off, it might have cost her some money. But she's gonna bet $100.
Can't wait to see what Igor does.
Really ambitious. You bet with tens, you get called in 2 spots, and you continue betting.
Well, she has the 10 of clubs. I wonder if she's thinking about that.
He's making some hands today. He got the nut straight. Now he's got second nut flush.
Yeah, and he's gonna raise right away. Now Igor's got 2 pair.
He's like, what is going on in this hand?
Well, even the most inexperienced poker player sees the flush. Sometimes you don't see the straight, but everybody sees the flush.
Oh, yeah.
Great fold.
I saw it out there.
Great
when I was
fold.
playing. I saw it.
That's a great fold by Igor.
And Loretta's gonna call this?
I liked Loretta so much until this.
Yeah, I'm rethinking my who could run deep in the WSOP main event. Thinking.
It's got to be somebody in the 30s, late 20s.
And she ships. She ships.
Oh. I'm sorry, Loretta.
Yeah, I mean, the lead out with the 10s was one thing, and certainly nothing wrong there. I mean, I think when you get called in 2 spots and a club comes off, you might have the best hand, but there's a good chance that one of your opponents has clubs. And by the way, if they don't, you can check it, probably just check through.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Why risk everything? Cobra, 2K now, almost.
Now, this is the great thing about Stones, what I love. So if you just came in tonight, right now, and you jumped in this game, you could buy in for a 1-3 game for $1,900. That's insane. I love it.
If you can get on the list.
Chips on 11,
It's a
please.
tough list, and with so
this
many more
game,
games
yes.
to come. What are the other games? Do we have a list of games, Survivor Series, later on? Everything you'd want to play. I mean, why wouldn't you play? Next game is 2-5 no limit, 6-12 limit, 1-3-5 PLO. We've got a 5-10 no limit game. We've got Omaha 8.
We even have a
1-2.
1-2.
We've got a 1-2 no limit coming up in May, on May 28th. Check the Stones website. You'll see the whole list. Sign up for it.
And a 4-8 limit. That's
You do have to submit a little paragraph about yourself.
You know what's going to be the fun one? The fun one is going to be the employee game.
Oh, they're already
Dealer's
talking about it.
choice.
I had dinner with 2 of the employees last night. Oh, the trash? Oh.
You know what?
Well,
So every time the button comes to you, it's not a round of the dealer's choice. It's that one hand.
Chips
so
on
you
11.
can pick Omaha. Then the next hand is Hold'em. Then the next hand is Limit Hold'em. Then the next hand
I'm
Omaha
glad
eight.
I'm not commentating that night.
Theoretically, we could have like 9 buttons out there for 9 dealers, right?
Well, it's just when the button gets to you. But yes,
Everyone will actually be dealing. Who's
Yeah.
going to deal? I guess somebody who doesn't play poker.
we're going to get Tuck to deal.
Can you play?
Oh, right.
Veronica?
I can play,
She
but
goes-
I can't play in the main event. I can't go to the series.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would be.
Otherwise engaged.
Right. Cobra with the best of it here. He bets $40 with a pair of jacks. Loretta has reloaded.
I was stalking Lon McCarran for many years, and he had me banned. So that's why
Oh
I can't go
yeah,
in.
immediate ban.
Yeah, I can understand that.
That's why sometimes we did a little dip in people sign up for the main event. It's because I ban all the people.
I was going to say on a scale of, let's say 1 to 20, out of all the people that have stalked you in your life, that have really scared you, where does Veronica sit?
Well, I let it go for 3 years, so I'm not too scared.
Right.
It was an ego thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty prestigious if you have a stalker.
I've never had one. I would actually like a stalker. Can I apply?
Oh, I can loan you her for a while if you want.
That's great.
Yeah, that'd be good. We'll set a deal.
I set my bar high, and I don't want it to go down.
Wow. Sorry about
Poor
that.
Dave.
Dude,
All I want is a stalker.
you got to get off the streaming world and get
Yeah.
to real TV.
I think so. Wow. Oh, look at that. There's the zing. I love it.
Are you kidding? You're the man of the World Series.
I love
I'm
this
just
stuff.
riding your coach.
Oh, stop it.
There we go.
7 high flop, 8's still best. Cobra just running over this table right now.
Yep.
At this point, if Cobra keeps playing in tonight's game, whether he wins our contest or not, he is going to win enough to play in the main event.
Yep. Probably.
That
It
sounds
probably
about
does
right.
that every week. So we've got about 15 minutes left in voting for the most skilled player. Right now, Cobra's got my vote.
He's the only one that has chips in this segment, right?
Yeah,
But I mean, does it? It's not just skilled in this half hour, right? It's kind of that's the player they've watched for the last.
You know, you can
This
choose
is
how you
the
want to do
voting time,
it.
right?
Yeah. This is the voting time. You can choose over the last 2 hours how they've been doing.
Igor, by the way, has just reloaded. 8s are still the best hand. You see the check mark next to Cobra's name. And he's going to put a small little bet out there.
I think Igor reloaded for $1,000. Is that 1,000? 3, 6,
Yeah, I think he put
9?
another like 600 on the table, so he's got about 1,000 in front of him.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 1-3 game. It's a 1-3. It's
This is
crazy.
This is an insane game.
Yeah.
By the way, if you
They're
are
bringing it. They're bringing it.
if you are within driving distance of Stones and you can get here tonight and you want to play with me, I will be here all night. When this broadcast ends, which is at 10 p.m., I am going to play all night, and I am buying beers. I am buying beers.
You're buying me a beer? I'd like a beer.
I'll buy you more than a beer.
What else could you buy me?
You just bought yourself a stalker, is what you did.
Multiple beers. Yes, I win. By the way, where is your dog?
My dog's here. I'm not. He's not ready for prime time.
Okay. Oh, there I see him. Okay.
Yeah,
I know. I was wondering if you left him out there by himself.
If you come down here, you'll be able to see my dog.
300-pound lap dog. Huge.
It's hard to miss. Hard to miss. So as far as skill goes, I mean, I know you don't want to influence. Is there anybody that you like here? I have not been able to see the stream from where I was.
Yeah.
Cobra is my favorite.
Yeah.
And he was my favorite. He's one of my favorites on our stream. He's a regular on our stream. Jake and I like him. Jake has a tattoo of Cobra on his chest.
Right.
He loves
And
it.
I love Cobra in shirt.
And with his face.
With his face. Let me ask you this. What's your opinion, Lon? If somebody is playing, and I said this before, if somebody's playing a little bit beneath their level, if he's playing against players that are not as experienced as he might be, does he still get credit for being the most skilled? Because like Cobra normally plays 5-10 and 2-5, and he's playing a 1-3 game with players that probably don't have nearly the experience he has as a cash game player.
That's the game tonight.
It is the game tonight. So do we judge him based on the competition he's playing tonight, or do we understand the fact that he's probably playing a little bit beneath where he normally plays?
Well, I don't think that most people out there know who he is, I would imagine. So you're going to judge him on what he brings tonight, I think. Obviously, the people who know him will be influenced by that. Is he running over the table? Is that what you were the guy who plays in the higher game? I mean, I don't think you discount him because he plays a bigger game. I think he brings the skill that he brings, and if he's got the skill at this table that we are presenting to everybody tonight, we don't discount him.
Keep in mind, by the way, he's also making hands.
That's what I was going to say. He's also made hands when other people have made
Second
hands.
hand, yeah, second best hand.
So it's easy in this small spectrum to judge. But if we ran this table for 10 hours, it may not. We may not feel the same way. You know, we may think that Robert's got the most skill. So, not to take away from anyone else. And also, in Cobra's defense, Cobra's on the live stream a lot more than anyone else on this table. So.
And that matters. I mean, you talk to people, and you know that people who make television broadcasts at the World Series or any other event. You sit down at a TV table, and it changes the game. It changes how people breathe, how people think, and they worry about what they're doing and the mistakes they might make, and all like that. So it does. I'm sure it affects these people the same way for a while, at least, I would think.
The only thing I think about is how shiny my lipstick looks.
Yeah, see, I would worry about that too. I would worry about that. So check what we got here. We got some action.
We do. Jack high flop, 2 hearts out there. Kings still in the lead. Igor decided not to 3-bet this. He just flatted the Kings raise. Fortunately for him, he's picked up a gut shot and catch a queen or an ace. Cobra with the underpair on the board. And Robert's going to continue betting. Now, Robert's played fairly snug. He's actually the player at this particular table, I said earlier, I think might have the most success at the main event because he's shown a lot of discipline.
I agree.
Patience,
I like Robert, yeah.
but he can mix it up a little bit when he has to.
But that guy could go in as Mike Madison, the guy.
C-Date, White Brian.
Yeah, he definitely walked in.
He's our local Mike Madison.
Yeah, he looked very chagrined when I mentioned that to him earlier on.
Oh, and there's the queen.
Oh, look at that.
So Igor bets $50, Robert calls, and Igor gets there.
It's also a heart, so it might slow down the action.
There's the check from Robert. And look at that.
I'm Lyman Sons asking, what does the winner get with the user votes? the person with the most votes will then play on our final Survivor Series live stream for a $10,000 main event World Series of Poker seat.
And that will be a tournament. That will not be any voting or anything. The 9 people who win each chapter or each week
Show, yeah.
qualify for the final table, which is no voting, but live streamed. Tournament, no limit. Winner gets the main event seat. Yes.
There you go, Lon McCarran, ladies and gentlemen, telling it like
I'll be there.
He's such a pro, by the way. I mean, I didn't even
you've
realize.
done this before.
I didn't even know where the camera was. I had no idea where the camera was. I mean, this guy walks in the booth, and 30 seconds later, he's like,
Talking to
"Okay,
people.
There it is.
yeah, it's a beautiful thing." I mean,
But I talk that way all the time. When I talked to you the other day, you noticed me, I was just kind of looking up, like,
Right,
the
exactly.
camera up there.
Hi,
Hoping there was a camera there.
somebody's filming this, right?
11.
And they usually are.
Of course.
Welcome to America.
Oh, to be Lon, right?
Lon McCarran.
You know, he do a 5 ounce.
I mean, we've all been, you know, I mean, the great thing, obviously your connection here to Stone's Gambling Hall, but we've all been watching you for years and years.
We're all fans of you.
No, I mean, seriously, like the
I
poker
am.
boom came through that whole era, and when we talk about, you know, the things that are responsible for the poker boom.
You're my light. Back
Sorry,
up.
sorry, sorry. I'll stay there. I'll talk behind. Well played.
That was great.
As I'm sitting
I
here,
want to vote for that.
as I'm sitting here complimenting him.
I'm listening to you.
No, and it's just, you know, when we think about the things that, you know, influenced the poker boom, and, you know, the movie Rounders, or, you know, whether it was, you know, the WPT where we could see hole cards, and obviously Chris Moneymaker, you and Norm, and what you guys did on a yearly basis, and actually it was just right up there.
And I speak for Norman too. We are.
You're going to speak for Norm?
I will. I won't tell him that because he'll say I'm wrong. But no, he'll just say we were on the ship, you know, and riding the wave, and we were very liked by it. I know he is, and I am as well. And the way, you know, you phrase that is very nice. And we don't see ourselves in that role, but, you know, to be part of something like that is very gratifying and very humbling. So I appreciate it, and I really appreciate when people say how much they love the shows and all. So thank you.
I, for one, I'm going to start. I've actually mentioned this before, and this is, I'm not just kissing your ass, but I truly believe we've talked about the Poker Hall of Fame, and I truly believe that you and Norm deserve a place in it.
You know what Norman would say? He would never want to be a member of a club with invited.
It's on 11, please.
Fair enough. I like it. A lot of kings out there. King, King 4, Si Wong with Trip Kings, Waprai with 2 pair. We can see that he has less than 1% chance of winning this hand.
Isn't that fun? I love the less than. We
Yeah.
make a huge deal of the less than on our shows, and we get a chance to see that. It's so gratifying.
But Robert Y actually bets Queen Jack. Si Wong just calls, and Robert Y is not going to shut down.
By the way, Jimmy Bluffett says hi, Lon and Tuckman.
Hey, Jimmy Bluffett.
Not Veronica, you two.
What is this? I can't read that. Oh my glasses.
Did Lon stake a piece of stones?
What does that mean?
I don't
Are you an investor?
Oh, no. No. They give me money.
Si Wong just calls. Pot now $134. Robert Y drawing dead. 6 of hearts changes absolutely nothing, and I think at that point, you know, there are cards that you can use to bluff. Like, let's say you're trying to get somebody to fold 7s or 9s. Obviously, you're not getting somebody to fold kings here. I think there are river cards that you could theoretically that could come off, or maybe you could triple barrel. The 6 of hearts is not one of them. So I like to check and to give up.
Was that a show by Si Wong? Just
No.
like a
I think
bet?
I think he bet a couple hundred. I don't know exactly.
Okay, I saw him moving both stacks, but I mean maybe. But Robert not calling anything. Robert's a smart guy.
5-10.
So let's see, we got Jake. Oh, Jake doing the selfies. 1 sunglasses, right? Only 1 sunglasses. A couple of hoodies, lots of hats.
He has muscles in places that I didn't even know you could have
Absolutely
muscles.
no. Yeah, you have to.
Places that I only dream about.
Right.
By myself. We got 5 minutes left.
Oh, this is the most skilled, right? Most skilled.
Most skilled, most skilled.
Most skilled. And try not to. I mean,
Poker.
I certainly think it's great if you vote for Cobra, but try not to let the what happened in the last 30 minutes influence you.
The run.
Just because results.
Yeah.
He's made hands. Doesn't mean he's not the most skilled.
And I applaud you for not going to results oriented. That's just
Right. It's very easy to go there.
Yeah.
Robert Y, by the way, putting a couple $100 more on the table, so he's going to rebuy. He already has 800 on there, so it looks like he's going to get up to 1,000 or 1,100.
He likes to match the stacks. So definitely don't want to be the shortest stack at this table.
Are you a wallet guy or non-wallet guy at the table? When you sit down, a lot of guys don't want to. I know Gavin Smith used to just have this wad of money, but he refused to have a wallet because he didn't want to sit on the wallet. Yet he would sit on the wallet.
No, I'm
Give it like a thin thing, or
I am a
you're rubber band.
rubber band
All right.
cash guy.
But yeah, it gets uncomfortable after a while, right? I mean, not bad.
Yeah.
It's not that much money.
And,
Cheap, but
right,
I
exactly.
mean,
it's only 100. The rest are all ones.
it's like the World Series of Poker.
Yeah. But either that or chips. I actually will have chips in my pocket.
Oh, okay.
Almost never a wallet.
Remember that?
$1,000 chips, right?
Depending on the game, yeah.
Did you ever see that
That's how I
movie
roll.
that Phil Locke came out? Phil Locke had
Yeah.
some special hoodie. It had a pocket for chips. It was a special pocket for chips.
I put nothing
Smart.
past. I put nothing past
That,
it.
I think. Some sort of poker 3-bet.
Interesting turn card here, Robert Y. Turns trips. Now, we saw Loretta earlier could not get away from tens. She's got top pair here, and she might be tilting a little bit.
Betting. I know she got it, but
Igor quickly folds. So Robert put in the bet. Loretta called.
Yeah, and if I'm Robert Y, I'm gonna bet fairly strong here. Just we saw Loretta not be able to fold tens earlier. She's already lost the buy-in. I mean, I might even bet 125 into this $144 pot. Try to get full value from somebody who might be tilting, and she lets it go. Nice fold.
Wow, top
Really
pair.
nice laydown.
Robert just the king. Thanks, Robert. So this thing is just going to gather momentum, I think. We were talking about it earlier. And week one of this whole Survivor Series, and people are just wondering about it. They're wondering about the voting aspect, and it is something, I think, entirely different than anybody's tried. But as we go through, I think you agree that there's going to be momentum. People are going to want to get in on it. Especially, it's like you get closer and closer to, like the last three. It's like a free shot at 10K at a main event seat. They'll be clamoring at the door. Especially the last three. We got an employee, which sorry you're out. Let's get hired in the next few weeks. And you got a 4-8 limit, which will be interesting, and then a 1-2-no limit on event number 7. That's going to be big.
Yeah. By the way, we are now accepting applications for event number 2. This is next Saturday, April 23rd. 2-5 no limit. You can send a paragraph to stonesurvivor@stonesgamblingHall.com. Once again, that's stonesurvivor@stonesgamblingHall.com. Include your name and your contact info, cell phone number preferred.
Wednesday at noon is the
Cutoff.
last time the cutoff for submitting your
And you can
file.
qualify with hours.
Yes.
Too. Beginning
winning a
Thursday
tournament.
at 10 a.m. I think it is for the, not that next Saturday, but the following Saturday event, Survivor event. You can qualify with just playing here and getting enough hours. The first 3, I think it is, to qualify for the hours are at the table. You don't even have to do much. Just come and play.
I know Cobra. We're looking at Cobra right now. He qualified with hours.
Cobra,
Some didn't even
JS.
know it.
Yeah, Cobra, Jake S, and C Wong are all Stones regulars that qualified by hours. Robert Y also qualified by hours playing the 1-3 game.
Look at Cobra raising on the draw.
Yeah, this check through on the flop.
Cobra.
9 of diamonds, and the jack is still good. We see 2 players with their jack, and kicker does not play.
Robert's having a tough run.
Actually, I'm sorry, kicker does play. It's very. How often does jack 6 with the 6 kicker
Right?
play?
Yeah. The poker room is buzzing. Everyone's just walking around looking at Lon McCarran in the booth.
No, they're
you.
not.
Not
No,
you.
they're not.
They do a good job up here. Like I said, I was up here 3 months ago, and I was really impressed with the poker room. So, and this is going to get checked down, and Igor's going to win it with jack 6.
Yeah, I saw the chagrin on Robert's face. the way it's been going for him since I sat down here. Sorry, Robert.
It's like the kiss of death. The second I say somebody's going to have a deep run in the main event,
Yeah, he's the man.
you're just. I should apologize in advance and send them some money.
This is what they do with Stones too. Look at this. They hand out free cookies
Yes.
to people here. They come around with samples of food out of Sammy's here, and you just sit there and they give you warm chocolate chip cookies. Three varieties, I think, like the snickerdoodles and the peanut butter chocolate.
We can tell what you like.
I've
the
been there,
most.
yeah.
They
Where
bring
else get you free cookies when you play poker?
warm cookies. Warm cookies.
Yeah.
I can't think of anybody. I mean, I got some good.
Look at Cobra. Cobra's the bass queen. That is amazing. He's in the right seat tonight.
Our resident luck box, ladies and gentlemen, Cobra.
It just happens, you know. It happens. And when he chews, he looks even more like Mike Madison.
I think you should tell him that. It's a compliment. You chew like Mike Madison.
He gave me a look. His mouth is exactly like Mike Madison. It was a little scary.
All right, so it's 9 o'clock right now.
All right,
What
so
are we
the voting's
voting for?
done, right?
Voting's done for that category.
And speaking of luck, you said seat 5. You started talking about Cobra being in the lucky seat. Right now, we are going to be voting for the luckiest player. So the next 30 minutes, you can vote for the luckiest player. A lot of nines. Nines are cheap. A couple of spades out there as well. So Robert Y is open-ended. Doesn't look like anybody has spades. Jake has trip nines, though. So Jake in control of this hand, and you can see next to his name, 64% chance that he wins it if it goes to showdown.
So when we talk about like talking about good luck, right? Otherwise, Robert's
Right.
bad luck. Yeah.
Although Robert could still very easily win this hand and win a big pot. If a 6 were to roll off, if a red 6 rolls off, Robert could win himself a really big pot. And you can see Robert's got $1,300 behind.
Legendary hacks, if you're having trouble voting, try again maybe in a minute or two. You have the whole 30 minutes to vote. We just finished our last voting phase, so give it a second.
You only get 1 vote per IP address. Per every
half an
30
hour.
minutes.
Per 30 minutes, right? Okay. So do we get results, or are they? I don't know.
The results have been tallied.
Are they being posted?
They're not posted yet.
Okay.
I think we're just going to let everyone know at 10 p.m.
Yeah, we don't want to influence it like CNN does.
Good point.
Where
Yeah, we're
30
calling
seconds,
it, yeah.
30 seconds into it, we're projecting a winner for Iowa.
By the way, our numbers have to be very good. There's nothing going on in politics tonight, right? There's no debate. There's no town hall.
I don't think
with
so.
the candidates' animals or anything like that.
So this is interesting. So there was a bet. Robert Y actually raised on the come with the open-ended straight draw and the flush draw. Jake has re-raised the 300. Robert continuing on. These players are deep, really deep. And there's the Now it is
We love that.
it is a spade.
That's my line, by the way.
That might slow down action a little bit.
And Robert Y just moved all in. Now, this is a really interesting shove because if you're in Jake's hand, if you're in Jake's spot, you're thinking, well, if the guy made the flush, why would he be trying to get me to fold?
Absolutely.
It's a really weird spot. Why would he bet so
love
much?
about this game, yeah.
You know, you start leveling yourself into it. Like, you know, if he made the nuts here, if he had a big hand,
He wouldn't have done this.
you'd think that.
Yeah, right?
And the thing for Robert also, he's got to be careful because Jake will just beat the crap out of him if he listens.
We've already got someone staking for medical bills here.
Jake's a sweetheart.
Yeah, in the realm of people that I might slow roll, Jake's not one.
I hate slow roll. People don't realize when they do it either.
You know, he's my Facebook friend. He always posts pictures of his beautiful daughter, and he's such a family guy.
He
and then
is.
you see him on here, you would never guess.
Yeah, and he's in a tough spot right now. I mean, when Robert raised, and then Jake re-raised, and then Robert called, you have to start putting him on a range of hands, and you go, okay, well, you know, maybe I don't think he's got a full house
You
right
think
now.
he's only thinking flush, do you think, Jake? I mean, he might
but he also
touch
can't-
on the straight.
He also can't beat a bigger 8. He can't beat a bigger 9.
Yeah.
He can't beat ace 9. I mean, right now the only hands he can beat are basically 10-9,
He's
9-7, and Jack 9.
and he's definitely getting my vote for luckiest player right now.
Right?
Jake, I think Jake knows he has to
I think he's
fold.
folding.
Yeah. It's too bad. I think he lost a little value
That's why
shoving there.
he folds that way every time. He folds out the other end.
Nice laydown.
Yeah.
It's a nice laydown by Jake. I mean, obvious to us, but it's when you say table, it's really hard to fold trips.
It's too bad the skill session is over, Jake. Oh, that was good. That was a good hand.
I was gonna.
That's what I watched.
I had a.
It's hard for him. At this point, Jake's probably not going to get the luckiest player
Thank
vote.
you, Rob. I had 7-10. I was gonna bluff 10
Right
straight.
now.
I just went straight. I just went straight.
Once again, Lon McCann, Veronica Brill, David Tuckton here,
Hand it to me.
Four Stones Gambling Hall.
I was we gotta
This
be in
is
it.
the Stones Live Survivor Series. Hashtag Survivor Series.
Every Saturday. Saturday till middle of June, right?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, we still do the Monday.
It was close. I had
course,
7.
yeah.
So you got a raise, I guess.
And then on the 20th, it'll be Veronica and friends. So Wednesday, table of ladies. All my lady friends are coming to join me at the game. Sorry, Lon, I was going to invite you, but
Why just ladies? Why are men discriminated against like that?
There's no men's event.
all my friends are ladies.
Men's, that's right. Only all of them. There it is. Veronica Friends, 1-3.
Yeah.
Third Wednesday. Oh, so it's like this is a regular thing?
Yeah.
I'm just learning about it.
I'm going to have all my Twitter friends on.
Do you play as well? Oh, so you play? Yeah, she'll be. So who does commentary?
Jake is going to be doing commentary with whoever we find to do commentary with.
Does anybody actually want to work with Jake?
Probably not. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough with Jake.
Yeah.
I've X'd out my tattoo of Jake on my chest.
It's awkward when you get a tattoo of somebody.
So soon after that, it turns.
Yeah. How's your Norman Chad tattoo?
He never calls.
Never returns the calls.
Great. That'll be the day.
Big hands again. Kings. Kings are going around.
Jake with the pocket nines.
Yeah.
So Igor with Kings.
This is the second time Igor's had kings, I believe.
Jake with nines.
Robert at Kings. Robert at Kings.
Robert against Igor, sorry.
So Cobra's the original raiser. He makes it 13. And Igor has 3-bet 35. Jake's going to call.
From the small. Because it was cheap. It's only 34.
He's got nines. I'm going to figure, okay, you know,
Oh,
if I
absolutely.
spike
No,
a set, maybe I'll win a big
You got
pot.
a discount for calling nines too.
How about a flop of King 10-9?
Oh, beautiful.
You're cruel.
I am cruel.
Oh!
Not quite King 10-9. How about...
Oh, Cobra. Cobra, you dirty bird.
Yeah,
What is up with that?
Luckiest player.
definitely luckiest
Vote.
player.
Yeah. Was there best dressed already?
Yeah, we already had the most
okay.
stylish and best dressed.
You would have won, but you were not the table.
I was not there. Absolutely. Thank you. Don't look at me so
I don't think-
closely. Don't look so closely.
I don't think he would have won.
These are
Gosh,
traditional.
leave
These are
my lawn
Wimbledon
alone.
colors. These are Wimbledon colors.
I know, sorry, my bad.
And traditionally, when you pair purple with green, it indicates mental illness. By the way, it's true. You can look it up. You can look it up.
I like that. And with that, I'm going to leave you guys for about a minute and a half.
All right.
They did not teach us that in nursing school.
Really?
And I did a month in the psychiatric
Does that
ICU
work?
as a nurse,
Yeah?
and not as a patient.
Oh,
Finally,
right.
he's out of the booth. I got you to myself.
There we go. I never thought he'd leave.
Yeah.
You have to call the action.
So turn was an 8, and Jake checks. Action is on Igor. Cobra's checking. Cobra's letting Igor do all the pushing.
3% hand when you've got pocket jacks. That's so cruel. Do you find this game is more cruel than wonderful when you're playing? I mean, there are moments of wonderfulness,
It can
but
be
it seems
cruel.
like the cruelness.
You know what I find? What's my favorite thing about this game is that it's very fair, in that the cruelness is equally distributed. You know,
That never happens.
it's a fair game, and anyone can play, and anyone can sit down with a pro. That's the best part about this. So in that way, it's one of the greatest games.
And for Cobra, look at that. There's a bet, there's a call, and now action on Cobra.
And Cobra's licking his chops here.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to put in the race right now. There is a diamond draw out there, backdoor diamond draw.
I always love the bet. You never know what's going to happen.
So this is nice because normally Jake's in the booth criticizing everything I say, telling me how bad my commentary is.
Luckily, I know nothing about poker.
So Cobra's got the check mark, and he checks hoping that Igor is going to bet.
Check,
And
check.
Igor's not going to fall for that trap.
Huh. I wonder if we could have gotten a
Almost a $650 pot shipped to Cobra again.
Most people get more
Again,
action when they're
right.
drinking Cobra.
Good
Get
Yeah, and you
excited.
know he's going to color up again to all the 25 chips. He started this with $500.
Did he really?
Yeah, he's at 2.4. Poker is alive and well at Stone's Gambling Hall. Get down here. Get down
He's
here.
up 1,900
An hour and a half?
after 3
Almost
hours.
2
They started
hours.
at 6, right?
They started at 6, yes. And we started live streaming
In
at
real
6.
time, yeah. So we'll have to, yeah. So, 2.5
See,
hours.
Jake, he just said, you're wrong, Veronica. See, anything I say is wrong.
Oh, he came back.
He's my boothie. Jake's my boothie. We would say bestie, but boothie.
What did I miss? Anything exciting?
Wow, it was a big hand actually. Pocket nines against pocket
I saw the king versus the jack.
against
We
the
just
jack.
finished that hand.
Yeah, trip jacks for Cobra.
Did Cobra's jacks hold up?
Yeah.
Okay, so he continues
And
to
he
be
checked on
lucky.
the river hoping Igor would bet, and Igor did not fall for that trap. And he just checked on the river. I think he lost a little value. I think Cobra could have put in a value bet and maybe got called by at least kings.
I feel like the theme of tonight in terms of the river, we've seen a lot of players check in hopes that their opponent would value bet, and their opponent ended up checking it back. And I think in this game particularly, don't count on your opponent to do the betting for you.
Yeah.
I think there are other games where you can. I don't think in this game that's the right play. Nice flop for Wet Bry, because not only does he have top pair with top kicker, but C Wong has a smaller king, so we could see a lot of value here.
They read it with a wheel draw. So, what's our category with this half hour? I forgot.
It's voting for the luckiest player.
Luckiest. Oh, we're still there. Okay.
Yeah, we're still there for 19 more minutes.
All right, cool. So keep voting. Keep if you haven't voted, vote. And unlike Colorado, your vote will count.
Jimmy Buffett says Tuckman can't wait for Red Booth at World Series of Poker. I'm bringing beer, let me in. Lon, you don't get any beer. Tuck does. Sorry.
So that people know. Bad turn card here for Wet Bry. It's gonna, while he still has the best hand, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult for him to get any value when the heart peels off. Igor, by the way, has picked up. If he's still in there, and he is, Igor has picked up a gut shot and a nut flush draw. So his hand picked up a lot of equity. You can see 27% next to his name. Yeah, that's my my Black Booth Mojo at the World Series each year. I make lots of beer prop bets,
Yeah.
and that's the way for entry. You want to come in, bring beer.
Micro beer. I noticed you like a lot of micro beer.
I like getting
So much
Can
good
I
beer
come in
out
with,
there.
There is.
with Coors Light?
No.
Wow. Nice bet by Igor. Igor gets not one king, but two kings to fold with the semi-bluff.
All right, Igor. Well done. Well
I like
done.
that.
Skill. Poker is all about skill.
You might be shocked, by the way. Igor, you see 7, the guy, gentleman in the blue hat, is Russian.
Igor.
The name didn't give it away.
Right.
Well, he is American enough not to take the sticker off of his damn hat.
Hat. Yes. and Cobra as well.
Is that a new trend that you just disapprove of?
It's not a new trend. People do it forever, but
But it tends to be. It's more.
what are they going to
popular today than
resell
was
it?
12 years ago.
What is with the sticker? There's got to be a thing with. Do you know what's going on with the sticker?
No, I don't wear hats.
But you've seen
and-
it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's like I kept the sticker on one time because people kept the sticker on, and I got so much grief for keeping the sticker on. I could not continue.
Do you wear baseball caps?
When I'm just working around the house, not around and about, unless I get up and run to the store for hair day, you know.
Take a look at Loretta Lowe's.
Loretta's got a great hat.
Yeah, she has a Jaguar hat. Now, she's got the rounded bill.
I'm a rounded
as
guy.
opposed to the flat bill. You're a rounded bill?
I'm old school round.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
There comes a point where I think in your life where you've just got to go with the rounded.
I just think with the flat bill, I mean, if they want to do that, that's fine. It just looks awful.
Right.
Period. Not at a certain age, just period.
I like the way you're like, hey, if they want to do it, it's fine. It just looks stupid.
I
Seawall.
thought his hat's nice, perfectly put on, with a rounded rim. Looks good.
And I'm sure Loretta's wearing the Jaguar hat. Honestly, she probably has about 4 of them, I would think, in her
She's probably
garage.
sponsored by Jaguar. I don't know if you
I
saw
wouldn't
her
doubt
at our
it.
seniors
I would not
event.
doubt it.
She had
I like her.
10 patches on. She's great. I love her.
She's put together with the little thing around the collar that matches the white on the hat. You know, I mean,
That's her fan.
It's all. Was it a fan, Batman?
That's a fan. She's getting fans.
Oh, I see that. One of the dealers here has a fan that she wears around on a necklace too. Always back in her face.
It's hard sitting next to Jake. You gotta fan yourself.
By the way, we don't know what Jake had, but Si Wong just folded top pair with a gut shot.
We
Wow.
saw him fold. Was he open-ended? Early in the night, we saw him
Right. But
fold
there, I
a
mean,
big
top
draw.
pair, it wasn't that big a bet. I'm kind of surprised.
Gotta read. Gotta go with your read, right?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know what Jake had, but
Poker is a game of incomplete information. Did you know that?
I did know that.
I just learned that. Thank you. I'm learning lots tonight.
It's going to change your world, all right?
Your first Twitch stream.
Yeah. I mean,
Are you gonna start doing like some Twitch streams?
What would I do?
You could play you could do an esport thing. Do you play League of Legends?
No, I'm over 50. I'm not doing it. I have nothing to stream. I'm clearing brush on my property right now.
I bet you if you and I played Madden on our PlayStation
people.
PlayStation Sport, if you and I
Madden
played,
96 is all I can do.
I have NHL 94. We could play NHL 94.
Wasn't that the strike year?
It was, but it was the year that you could hit Wayne Gretzky and he'd lead on the ice. It was the best
my God.
NHL game ever.
Because Gretzky couldn't fight. I remember
It was
in a
the best
Kings
game
game one
ever.
time, he went down like a sack of potatoes. It was maybe one of 2 fights he got in his career. Touched him, and Gretzky bang went down.
He was 160 pounds,
So after I raised to 12, everybody called me.
and he's not going to love the flop.
We're talking about Gretzky and hockey.
I'm sorry.
It's
I'm from
the
Edmonton,
best
Alberta.
postseason ever.
I lived in Edmonton,
NHL
Alberta most of
Stanley
my
Cup
life.
playoffs.
Wayne Gretzky. That's my guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't collect autographs, but
Don't say
he's
anything
one of
bad.
5 that I
please.
collect.
I will.
By the way,
That's my.
you talk about Ryan Gosling. You said he's the one man you would cheat on your husband with.
No, you're putting words in my mouth.
Oh, let me tell you a Ryan Gosling story. Can I do that?
I was going to say I would cheat on my wife with Wayne
Absolutely,
Gretzky.
yeah. So they're shooting The Big Short, right? The Gosling, Steve Carell, and Batman. Who else was in
Ben
it?
Affleck,
No. The good Batman. Batman Begins.
George Clooney.
No, who was in The Big Short? I can't think. Anyway,
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, Steve Carell, and Ryan Gosling. They were shooting The Big Short in New Orleans. My daughter works at a restaurant in New Orleans, and they come in to the restaurant because we're having a party upstairs. My daughter was such a fan of The Office. She walks up. Steve Carell notices a weird T-shirt that she's got. Oh, nice T-shirt. And she walks up to him, ignoring Christian Bale and Ryan Gosling, and says, "You want to go out with me?"
That's
To Steve
fantastic.
Carell.
That's awesome.
And he said, "No, I can't." But my daughter's got
Kahunas.
she's got gumption.
No,
yeah.
but the fact that she came,
goes
the fact that she
by
went up
them,
to, yeah, I mean,
I like it.
That's
great.
Greatest story in the family. Yeah.
by the way, it's actually a perfect pickup line. It's the perfect thing. You know, you ignore the best looking ones in the group.
It's
and
usually
yeah, you neg the best looking ones, and then you go after the uglier one in the group. So that's clearly what she was doing.
That's how you get all the men attracted to you.
That's how I do it,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Playing hard to get.
I couldn't believe she did that. That was so funny.
That is great.
But he came on to her. He mentioned his T-shirt. I think that's a definite come on right there, right?
Clearly.
Yeah.
He wanted her.
She was not off
He
base
about her.
doing that. I don't know. He opened the door. All right. Robert, pocket tens and
Top 2 for Ryan Gosling.
oh,
Top 2 for Viet D,
Hot dog
who was our
has
Asian
a
Ryan
gut
Gosling.
shot.
right.
Oh, there's
top
the
pair
King
for
of
Hot
Hearts
Dog.
now. This is getting interesting. Hot Dog's got top pair and a gut shot.
Ender for
Robert Y
Robert,
open-ended, as you said.
yeah.
Viet D still with top 2. Jake also with top pair. Actually, sorry, Jake with top and bottom. Jake's got 2 pair. This is an action flop.
And
Oh, nice
just
return.
gut
Like
shot.
the movies.
Yeah, Jake has just passed Viet D. Viet D in terrible shape with 2 pair. Now this check through on the flop.
Oh, wow.
And here comes a little raise.
And now
from Ryan Gosling.
everyone's happy. Look at this. I'm finally going to get even for the game. It's going to be wonderful. And Robert folded.
Igor, by the way, has picked up a flush draw.
Robert folded.
Oh, the deuce of spades never does anything for anybody in Hold'em on the river.
One player that's probably happy about that is Jake.
Oh, yeah, but it didn't help anybody. This shouldn't even be in the deck.
2 pair. King.
Copyright Norman Chan.
5.
I blatantly steal from him whenever I can.
I would.
And this got checked down on the river again. I'm
Really?
surprised.
That is
It's like,
amazing.
I mean, when your opponent does not re-raise you, King 5 is the nuts. I'm going to bet for value there. And we can see that he probably lost himself $150. He would have got called.
That was brutal.
All right, you guys hold down the fort.
All right, we got to do now. Now we can talk about her.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, so I was saying Twitch streaming, if you and I, if we were to start playing, Madden 96 or NHL 94 on Twitch, I guarantee you people would watch.
For how long? It would be such a. It would be like a car wreck. It'd be like, let's see how bad this is. It would be like magnesium. You ever burn magnesium? My friend used to steal magnesium from his side. You burn magnesium, it's like a wow, and then
Right.
gone.
Yeah, our stream might only be like 3 minutes long, but
It would be the greatest 3 minutes.
3 minutes. By the way,
Maybe so.
By the way, underneath my tombstone will be David Tuchman, the greatest 3 minutes. That's it.
And who will have said that? Yeah.
We'll leave that alone.
Yeah, ton of pop.
Cobra raising to $18. Low-hanging fruit here, guys. Once again, we are here every Saturday. The Stones Live Survivor Series, pretty exciting stuff. Over the next 8 weeks, we will have 8 kind of preliminary rounds after this. Each night, there'll be one winner.
Different game, too, every week.
Exactly. Culminating in a final 9-player sit-and-go. The winner of that 9-player sit-and-go on June 18th will win themselves a $10,000 main event seat and a chance to turn that and parlay that into millions of dollars. We obviously welcome you to watch, and you can vote and have a say in who's going to win this. But if you want to join, if you want to play, exactly, you can. And by the way, they are still accepting applications for next Saturday. That is a 2-5 no-limit hold'em game on April 23rd. Send a paragraph or two to stonesurvivor@stonesgamblinghall.com. Be witty, be funny, have fun with it.
And by the way, just as a quick aside, but certainly attached to what you said, I just happened upon an old Bart Hansen podcast, The Crushed Live Poker. It was on my computer somehow. It started, and he was saying, if you're a 1-2 or 1-3 player, 2-5 is really not that much of a leap for you. So if you're a 1-2, 1-3 player normally, and this game's going to be 2-5 next week, give it a shot. You know the basics. Hi. I just was centering up, so there you go. So tell us what's happening here, Veronica. Quick.
Really exciting.
Corpo's winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, somehow there's $160 in the pot. Neither player has a pair.
Oh, you did play.
I love these.
There were 9 people in there. Nobody had a pair. Yeah.
Yeah, I love when nobody has a pair and ace
You
high
guys
wins.
put the accident. Let's keep high plus draw.
We've got new material in the chat box. He said, isn't there a no-gun policy at Stone? Seat 2 is out of here. Ooh. Good.
That was a great fight.
Coming to the gun show at Stone. That was good. I do like that. Who said that? We should not block him anymore.
Okay, yeah, we'll unblock.
All right.
Hi, 77Y Bear.
Nice going. How do you, if you're on a first name or letter basis with someone, and can you do that? Like, hey, how you doing? B. H. Doesn't work.
Some of their names are difficult. Some of them are clever and fun. Some of them are difficult to
Finally, hot dog with what?
Jax.
And look at Loretta's got queens.
What is that?
Right behind him.
People watch the show. It's the Lon McCarran Memorial.
Jax.
That's what it's called.
I feel
Pocket Jack.
bad for Hot Dog. It's just been one of those nights where
Yeah.
he just hasn't had much, and it's been a tough night for him to kind of build momentum and get votes.
He just needs a setup change.
All right. There you go. All right. Well,
3 players. Check about
Hot dog,
that
be
flop,
careful.
hot dog.
And you know how it is. Oh, look at this
they
flop.
love
This
this
is tough.
flop. They love it.
And by the way, it's tough sometimes. if you haven't picked up a hand in 2 hours and you look at jacks, even in the face of a lot of heat,
Loretta
jacks can
folding.
look like aces really quick.
Absolutely. Loretta shot.
Yeah, I think Hot Dog's gonna call this.
Igor.
The problem is Loretta could easily do this with 9s.
And she's
or
only got
10s.
127.
I'm calling every day.
Pay the lady her money.
Exactly. How the Jaguar.
Igor.
I'm satisfied.
Oh, that was the worst Russian accent ever immortalized on film.
The long
I thought that was Australian.
Dreaded Jacks.
Pay the man his money. That was John Malkovich in The Rounders. And
Yeah, it was a poor Russian accent, I think.
Do you have a good Russian accent?
Of course I do. I very
he
good
lived next to
Russian
Russia.
accent.
He was born next to Russia.
Born next to Russia, I do, yes. I понимаю Russian.
What do you think of any of that?
That's
Boris
pretty good.
Badenov and,
That's pretty good. That was pretty good.
Rocky Flying Squirrel growing up. Yeah, that whole thing.
I am Giro. I used to work with a Russian girl. She'd be like, come here, Giro. Giro, come here.
Giro,
She couldn't
come
remember
here.
anyone's like English-sounding name. So Giro, come here.
And we all did that, by the way.
Right.
Hey, bud. How's it going? Yeah. Nice to see you again. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, boss. Boss is a good one for a lot of people. His name, you know.
Well,
Good to see you,
no,
boss.
is there anything worse than when you go someplace and you're with a friend or something and they don't know anybody, so they're kind of counting on you to introduce you, and then somebody comes over and you're just like,
It's the worst.
Because they don't remember your name. That's why they don't introduce you. That's what I do.
that's the point. It's so awkward because you want to introduce your
terrible
friend.
at that, too. I'm
And,
You don't remember? Yeah, me too. Jake's got kings.
Kings again. Going around once again, Lon McCarron, Veronica.
Not
Morilla.
much for anyone else.
A few more minutes left. We got 6 minutes left for the luckiest player.
Yeah.
And so far,
yeah.
we know who it is. But
What's the other one? Yeah. 514 there.
Jake, gonna get any action? Oh,
Siwang has 3 bet. Now, Siwang has not gotten out of line. There's no reason to think Siwang does not have a strong hand here. And frankly, if I'm Jake,
all right. This is good. One hand we see, one hand we don't. This is a great way to play a line.
I love this. I wish we could do every hand like this. Now, this is an interesting spot. You have kings, and you love your hand, but it's a cash game, not a tournament, and you're deep. I mean, we're talking about, he started this hand almost 300 big blinds deep.
Green chips in play.
Ooh, that means
It's
business.
100. That goes 100.
Yeah, he is now 4 bet. The problem is those, and Siwang just gives it up. Siwang has really not gotten out of line at all. So I don't know if I love 4 betting with kings there, because obviously you're never getting aces to fold.
Right.
The problem is
get worse hands.
you get a lot of hands that are worse than that to fold, and that's not really the goal. You want the player to come along.
How? So you're saying, and this is a worry of mine at the table. You want to get value. It's like everyone's like worried I'm going to get the set flopped against me. That's just part of the game, right? You got to get money in the pot.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to give our opponents free equity and a
Right.
free chance to stack us. But at the same time, we don't ever want to force our opponent to play correctly against us. We don't want to force our opponent to basically fold everything worse than what we have and call with everything better. Now, I'm not suggesting that, C. Wong is going to fold queens there, or ace king, or something like that. But he might fold, ace jack, something along those lines. So I think, against certain players who aren't 3-betting with weak hands and 3-bet bluffing, you might just call with kings.
It's not like you always want to end the hand pre-flop.
You really don't want to end the hand
Right.
pre-flop.
No, not with you get premium hands like that so rarely. You got to make hay, right?
Right, if you 4-bet with that hand and your opponent just folds, you win. You just win
Fold to 4-bet too. I mean, you're going to get a lot of folds to a 4-bet.
Especially in live poker.
In a game like, it's so rare to see a 4-bet.
Now, if Jake had some 4-bet bluffs in his arsenal,
Shown that before.
right, then I'm more apt to 4-bet with my big hands too, because I might get looked up.
Loretta.
What, is it a rule? Either it was 10s earlier or
Every
it's
hand.
10s.
Every hand. Who might come along? There's a couple
Cobra.
of suited hands there.
20.
Cobra, yeah.
But 25.
Loretta's got to pump it.
Cobra just gets rid of it.
Cobra just,
$25.
Well, it was a big raise.
yeah.
And this is kind of what I was just mentioning. It's a 1-3 game.
Igor.
Oh, Igor called.
And Igor loves to play hands. But just what I was talking about. Loretta, this was not a straddled pot. The blinds are 1-3. Loretta's normal open size is probably significantly smaller than 25, but she bets so much under the gun, she basically forced the one hand she really wants to call, King Jack, she forces that hand to fold. And that's what we want to
And that would
avoid.
have been nice, huh, for her?
Yeah, exact point. If she makes it 10 or 12, the King Jack comes along, he flops top pair, and he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, right.
And you get value out of it.
Loretta, though, right now is probably happy to drag anything.
Right. And that's, at the end of the day, a lot of players, they get a bad beat at some point. We all do. And we don't want to experience that bad beat again, so we do everything we can to prevent it.
To prevent, right. And small pots are happy pots. You know, just give me a bunch of them, but that's not going to happen either. So this is a healing moment for Loretta right now, maybe, from what happened earlier. You know, she's soothing herself, and maybe she'll work her way back into her groove.
She did double up with the queens.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
She's waiting to get her move back. That's what you're saying.
That was a bio game.
Yeah.
Trying to get her
And
to
the small
change
pot
the
right now,
style.
she's building confidence back up, because it will crush you. You need confidence at the poker table, and when you're crushed like that, it's small steps to get back where you were.
I like the subtleness of Lon's joke, and then Veronica just had to hammer it over everybody's head. If you didn't get it, here's what he meant.
Yeah, because I was thinking about the movie, how Stella got her groove
Where do you
back.
think he got it from? He just came out of thin air?
You cannot get this metagame out of
I cannot
diving into
believe this.
Lon's
You, I just can't. You know what?
Don't you have something to announce?
Whatever, let me
You
have
have
her.
something to announce, I
Calm
think.
down.
I can't work with her anymore.
It's
Lon.
9:30.
9:30. That's what you're going to
In our last
announce. Who's in
category.
charge of this pop stand?
I mean, Lon, you know, this is
Luckiest
actually
player's done now.
in a completely unrelated question. How do you deal? You know, you've worked with a lot of different people in your life broadcasting. How do you deal with somebody that's incompetent? Completely unrelated question.
What are we voting on now, Veronica?
We are voting on the most disciplined player for the next half an hour.
Discipline. All right, so let's talk about discipline at the poker table.
And what does that
This is
mean?
not a disciplined type of game, right?
Yeah, what does that mean? It is in some ways. Robert, I find to be a very disciplined player.
Who had a big fold earlier? Was it Jake? Jake had a big fold earlier.
He did.
Right? He had a huge hand, and he folded
He folded
the trip
trip
nines. Trip nines, yeah.
Hot Dog has been pretty disciplined, I think.
You got to be pretty smart to be disciplined, right?
Yes,
You know, the game. So
yes.
that's these guys are all smart. And,
You don't have to be smart to win.
Loretta is as well.
But
You don't have to be smart to win, though. But you have to be smart to win consistently.
No queens this time for WAP, right? Or as what's he calls it, Mark Madsen.
Yeah, right. Was he the late ad? Was he the alternate?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because he was angling on Twitter today for his spot. So discipline. Now we're past Lucky, so we can just kind of count Cobra.
By the way, this is the last category. This is your last chance to vote.
Oh, that's right, half hour. Yeah,
this is
half
the
hour,
last
the
chance
show's
you
over.
have to vote tonight.
Oh, so yeah,
Why
new
do-
chance to vote.
YB Free Money says Igor is the best. Russia, go Mother Russia.
Go Mother Russia.
He said it like it's go Mother Russia.
Mother Russia.
Yeah.
Do you watch The Americans?
No, I don't.
Oh, great show. Fun.
Good show?
Oh yeah, it's about the Cold War and a Russian couple who live in the U.S. as Americans, and they're doing their dirty deeds under the nose of the FBI, who live next door in the neighborhood. As a matter of fact.
What was the
see it on
movie?
Amazon.
What was that movie? I mean, an old movie. I think River Phoenix was in it. The late great River Phoenix.
Yeah.
And Sidney Poitier.
If you ask Robert, he'll know.
The movie is based. I think River's parents were Russian spies. I think that's what it was.
Oh, okay.
Living in America.
Yeah, well, these people have 2 kids. It's a fabulous show, and you should binge watch it and then catch up.
Si Wong with a pair of 7s. We do not know what our Russian friend Igor has.
What is up with Igor? You can't find the little dot and put his cards on it? This is like,
He's got his cards in the right spot, actually.
all right,
got a
so maybe
stick
it's
on
our
his hat, so
maybe it's our
that's
bad.
why.
Sorry, Igor.
Queen of Diamonds on the turn. Pot is $91. Si Wong checks.
There were several players early on in my poker career who didn't want to show hole cards when they were at the feature table.
Most notably
What did
Eric
you guys
Seidel,
do?
right?
Eric Seidel, really? What did you guys do?
We had when they're playing, it's hard. You know, I say, you got to show your hole cards. They do what they want once it plays in action. They come around. They came around.
In recent years, we've had players. When I was doing the live streams, Jack Effel, the World Series of Poker Tournament Director, has had to go up to those players and actually say, listen, if you don't want to show your hole cards, you are going to get a penalty, and continue to get penalties.
So it's in the agreement
Yeah.
that they sign when you Play the main event, yeah. So that's their out. And you agree to be photographed and show your hole cards. If you don't have friends in the audience during the final table, which has happened, the people who aren't monitoring things, that's your bad.
Right.
You know? And then there's a whole Finland machine. So many people watching the stream and figuring things out and feeding them information. And it's a whole team.
It's definitely changed the game, but to me, I mean, poker is all about adapting and adjusting anyway. So it's just another spoke in the wheel, so to speak.
Legal advantages that people take.
Well, yeah, but
Keep it on a level playing field for everyone. And
I mean, it's just one of those things where it's kind of like in a football game. You know, okay, well, I know that every time it's third down and a half a yard to go, you do this. Well, at least you normally do this. Well, the other coach knows that you know this. Well, it's the same thing with poker. You know, I know you bluffed last time when I did this, but I know you know this, so what level are we going to go to?
Absolutely. You're talking about leveling, and I think about it every time I'm watching a 10 or 12 pitch sequence of pitcher and catcher, or pitcher and batter, and just what happened here?
Did Loretta not call the flop?
She folded the 8? The queen 8?
I'm wondering if she didn't call the flop bet.
I didn't know.
Yeah, I don't think.
Because I can't imagine she called the queen 8 and then folded that flop. So I imagine she did not call.
But anyway, yeah, pitcher and batter is the whole thing. You know, what are you going to throw here now when it's 2-2 and a foul 3 off? So yeah, it's such an amazing thing how poker is woven, or that concept of poker is woven into so many different aspects of big time sports.
I love the fact that we're just adding another element, and you've got to be able to out adapt and out adjust your opponent and stay one step ahead.
Especially when it's for the good of the game, and certainly television has been for the good of the game. People complain about it, but nothing happens in that big money without TV, I'll tell you that.
I wonder, you know how we're running analytics on sports betting? I wonder now we've got all these televised shows and tournaments, if higher end players are going to start running analytics on the players they're playing against and see how they would play on a certain flop or certain texture.
Well, people are doing it online for sure. I mean, online they have access to millions and millions of hands. The database is just unreal.
Right.
Where people have run those kind of things. I mean, I think when you're talking about edited TV, poker TV shows, keep in mind they're entertainment.
Absolutely. Don't try to learn from them.
Yeah, they're not there for. I mean, yeah, you can pick up on certain things, but realize that it's an extremely small sample size. I mean, in a traditional broadcast you cover, how many hands might you see in one show?
We'll see partials, but we're looking under 25 in an hour.
Right.
In an hour, and we're doing some 90-minute shows, some 1-hour shows. So yeah, but yeah, you're looking 20, 25 out of.
In a vacuum, watching how Joe Blow plays jacks against John Smith tells us very little about how either player plays, because these guys have been playing together for the last 3 hours.
3 days.
3 days.
Yeah.
And that's going to influence how they play that hand in that particular spot. So I do think live streams, though, while I hope people find them entertaining, I think they're a great educational tool.
Yes. Absolutely.
Because then you get the whole thing. We see, for the last 2.5 hours, how these players have played against each other and how that might impact a decision in the next hand.
And maybe that's what happened with Loretta there. She saw something that just triggered a defense mechanism inside her and say, I got to get away because of what something did.
And earlier on when she paid off with 10s, it was against Cobra. He's playing lower than he normally plays. Maybe she thought he was bluffing, trying to make a move on her.
Cobra has become human in the last few minutes also. King 6.
But to his credit, a lot of players, when they become quote-unquote human and they stop getting cards, they start pressing because they want to keep winning. And he's just going, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not losing now.
Right. And that's where that confidence comes. And the table, you feed off the rest of the table. I mean, if he raises with King 6 and they fold, it's like, okay, we're going to keep doing this until you call me on it, literally.
Lon, you're pretty good at this. You might want to think about doing this more.
I just go here and play 1-3.
Profession, yeah.
But, I mean, have you ever thought about broadcasting as a career?
No. Career?
I'm just
Who does
saying.
that as a career?
Okay, I was just
poker is a career.
Right, I'm sorry. That's silly me. Igor turns a pair of 4s. but he's not in there. So Queen Jack is the best hand, but Hot Dog's going to bet his diamond draw. And Hot Dog has played it tight enough that I think he'll get through.
The chat before the fold.
He's getting a speech. I just know that Jake wants to turn around and get that velvet rope and do one of those things like that to build.
Do you do that? I actually do that. I like that.
How is that? No, I see people doing it. This looks funny.
It's a nice, you know what it is? It's kind of, I play hockey.
Great brand.
It's a really, it's a good, like, it kind of combines strength with endurance, which for me is way more important than like lifting, obviously.
It's like one of those big ropes that hold ships to docks, right? Those big, is that what they are? Big, heavy, is it rope or what do you
It's
use?
rope, yeah, it's rope. And you just kind of like,
How long is that? 25, 20 feet, something like that?
yeah, I mean, not even, probably 15 feet. It's not that long.
okay.
But you can do it for like, you do it, even if you were to do it for, 20-second, 15-second intervals, that's a long time. Then take a break and then do another 15 seconds. It's a good
We're
workout.
working shoulders?
Shoulders, endurance, everything. I mean, you can work your core.
So it's
Legs.
like a wrist shot?
Yeah, kind of like just,
I mean, but that's what it helps. It helps me wrist shot or slap, not your slap shots.
I don't know. I mean, I just,
It's gonna,
shoulders maybe? I don't know. Appreciate that. You got my shoulders too.
thank you.
Wow.
So,
Oh, sorry.
I feel like I'm the third wheel right now.
all right, ace 9, ace 8, queen 9.
Some love between the two of you. I was wondering how far that was going to go.
How about
If the
mutual
shirts were gonna
respect?
come
Respect. Seawong
off,
raises the
massaging
13.
each other.
Seawong is just not showing any of his cards. That's it. No more.
They have masseuse, there's masseuse right there in front of us. That's good. And that's the thing too. You can stones big time. Masseuse is here if you want. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And the Jake is in the house if anyone wants to get free money.
This is a fun flop.
It is. Well, Igor's flop bottom pair with an open-ended straight draw. Cobra with an open-ended straight draw on the overs. Loretta also with the open-ended straight draw. Wapbry with top pair, top kicker. We do not. C. Wong, by the way, was the pre-flop raiser. We have no idea what he is, but he's checked. So at this point, safe to assume he's probably got some Broadway cards. Maybe
Yeah,
an
no,
ace.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. No, face cards. Yeah, he doesn't have. So 10s are wide open. You got a pocket 10s. Nobody's got a 10.
And Loretta's going to call this. I'm not a huge fan of calling when I have the obvious draw, because the problem is there's no implied odds. If I hit the odd, like let's say a 5 comes off,
It's
am I really going to get paid?
Yeah.
And I want to get paid.
Kind of, as you guys say in that world of analysis, playing her hand face up almost there. I think. Oh, another 8.
Yeah, I mean I don't mind playing Queen 9 aggressively and using it as a semi bluff, but she's going to check. Igor's going to check. And Cobra's going to check, and they're going to let Igor win this with 9-6.
And we have less than 20 minutes left to vote on the most disciplined player.
Most disciplined player.
And then we're going to announce the winner right after 10 o'clock, and we're going to have an exit interview with the winner.
They will
That's pretty
sit in my seat. I will give my seat for the winner.
That's very kind of you, on. I was going to get up, but that's fine.
No, it's your show. I'm just.
They might enjoy the two of you better, huh? I'm just
No.
saying. I mean,
Absolutely not.
I'm living the dream right
I've
now.
seen her walk around here, and
She's like Queen Bee.
like, yeah. I mean, there are people to hold her.
Live tape.
There's somebody walking out here with a like a shining
fan.
plate. There's Veronica's here,
Get the light right. Get the lighting right.
and she earned it. She earned it.
Every
Have you watched the shows Monday, Wednesdays?
Absolutely.
They're good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Our 1025 game, our last 1025 game was a gem. A gem. That was
It
one of
helps
my
when they help you,
favorite.
right?
Yeah.
You've had some not so gems too, right?
A few, yeah.
But that
the
happens.
commentary is so great that
worth
it
it.
makes up for
It's
it,
worth it,
right? Oh, the 1025. Oh gosh, I'm such a fan of this show. Not only doing commentary, but I watch it even when I'm not doing commentary. It's great. I love how it's developed. Our community's grown, and everyone's getting comfortable with the cameras.
That's the thing. When I moved into this area a few years ago, the strength of the poker community was amazing. It was surprising,
Yeah.
and the quality of play as well was eye-opening. And it is, people. I grew up not far from here, and in the Bay Area, but Sacramento was like 916. It was like Sacramento. It's the play. It's always hot in Sacramento, and you didn't give it a second thought. But it's a great community, and the people are real tight in the poker community. What things that happen spread quickly, so the poker rooms really have to stay on top of things and do it right, because if you do something the poker players don't like, everyone knows about it in a heartbeat.
And Stones really caters to the poker community.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Everything we do is based on suggestions from the regulars, so beautiful room.
Robert won that hand. We actually didn't have his hand up, so we don't know exactly what he had, but he wins that
Best
hand with
hand?
double barrel. He had the winning hand.
So how much money has Robert put into the term? Do we know he bought?
I think he's
put
in-
200 more in a while ago, right?
Yeah, no, he put it. Yeah.
He had 800. He put 200 more in. I think.
Yeah, my guess is he's probably up about 400 or 500 for the day, maybe 600. Our big winner so far, definitely Cobra. But Cobra's also in. He's not in for the minimum either. When he lost a little bit early on, he kept.
Oh,
Chop.
sorry, I didn't.
He pumped it up a little bit.
Yeah, he's one of those guys where he buys in for the max and continues to stay max. Which is probably smart for him in this game.
Yeah. He has an opportunity. Jack 10s for 2 players, King Queen for hot dog.
Once again, if you are enjoying this, you want to watch, we'll be on every Saturday. But if you want to play, we are now accepting applications for event number 2, which is a 2-5 no limit hold'em. You send a paragraph to stonesurvivor@stonesgamblinghall.com. Be funny, be witty, be yourself, have a good time with it, and who knows, you could be on here next Saturday. But as Lon was saying earlier, each and every Saturday we have a different game. You can go on our site and check that out. Whether you play limit hold'em, whether you play big, whether you play small, whether you play PLO or whatever, we've got everything for you. How about trip jacks for Viet and trip jacks for Wow! This is going to be like kissing your sister, because both players with the same hands.
And look at 6% just to take it outright. That's just the play draw. Yeah, they're just gonna put money in the pot and get money back.
By the way, if Hot Dog decides to come along for the ride,
Wow,
or
about
Robert,
that? That'd be fun.
and if a 10 rolls off, they're going to think they're good, but unfortunately they're going to be
Jack 10 would
in a
do it.
world of hurt.
Yep, a vote for both Viet and left, right?
And instead, this one's going to be heads up really quick.
10, look at a 10 would do. Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
I don't even think Jake's still in there. I think that's just a.
I just checked out. It's an artifact. Money,
By the
money.
way, these are also situations for any of our newer poker players out there. These are situations where once you have a really good inkling that your opponent might have trip jacks, if I have Jack 10, this is a situation where I really want to keep the pot as small as possible. People make the mistake of thinking, oh, I've got trips, I've got the nuts, I can't lose. But if you're getting a lot of heat on a Jack 9 board, just try to think of what cards go with Jack. If your opponent voluntarily entered the pot and wasn't in the blinds, they probably have Jack, Jack 9, Jack 10, Queen Jack, King Jack. They don't have many Jack 4s. So you just got to be a little bit cautious there.
How much do you take into consideration with a situation like that you've got Jack 10? What are the odds they've got Jack 10 as well?
100%.
Another consideration is that Walmart didn't have a lot of money behind. He shoved for $64 or something.
Yeah, and obviously if it's $64, I'm going to call it's easier. I'm talking about when you're really deep in a cash game and it becomes a much more difficult situation. As unlikely as it can be that you both have the same hands, sometimes when you're playing against certain people who aren't actually capable of bluffing, or aren't bluffing for a lot of money, and you know that, you just start piecing it together and go, well, would this guy really do it with just one pair? What does my hand look like today? So when on a Jack 9 board, maybe they don't have a Jack, but they could have pocket 9s, which I can't beat. There's not much I can beat anymore. Right. But a lot of money goes in the
Jack
pot.
10. I mean, if you have Jack 10 and you see 2 jacks there, Jack 10 might be the low range of any jack somebody's playing.
Especially when the board is Jack 9, because Jack 9 is another hand, but you can't beat that either.
Yeah, right.
Most players don't play Jack 7, Jack 6, and below.
That's what I'm thinking. And so you're on the low end of the totem pole of any jack that might be in
Right. Unless your opponent is just incapable of folding over pairs, or your opponent is bluffing a lot, there's not much you can beat.
How scary is that? When you flop trips and you're like worried about losing.
By the way, it
your
was my
stack.
mistake. Ryan Gosling was the one with the short stack, not
Okay.
Waprai. Pardon me. That was
Fair enough.
All right, good enough.
It's not even, and I'm not suggesting you should play it scared. Just keep your eyes open. You know, when somebody's putting a lot of money in the pot, try to think, you know what do they think I have?
I mean,
Are they
truthfully,
overplaying their hand though? On a
Yeah.
1-3 game, people tend to overplay their hands.
By the way, it's one of the reasons earlier on we saw Hot Dog lose with jacks. I'm calling with jacks there all the time because Loretta could have easily had 9s or 10s in that spot.
Yeah.
Waprai wins. 10, I didn't see.
Yeah, no, none of us saw. He showed up.
Showed Robert. Robert folded his queen and Waprai won it.
So we've got 12 minutes left in
Yeah,
voting.
vote. If you haven't voted, vote. Tell your friend to vote.
Siwong has like $1,400 in front of him. I don't remember him winning a pot.
I don't think he's got 1,400 in front of him. He's got 400.
Now, according to our chip count, he had over
Maybe
14.
he's got well, no. Maybe he's got
The greens are 25, right?
yeah. Seat 1? You're talking about seat 1?
No, seat 4.
Oh, seat 4 or seat 4?
C1.
Okay.
Yeah, not C1.
C1, okay. I thought you said C1.
Right.
Yeah, so the greens are, yeah, that looks like $1,000 in greens and 1,100.
I just don't remember him winning I don't remember him winning many pots.
Not since I've been here.
He's sly.
No, he had that one pot where I thought he
When you were in
shoved,
the
so he did win a decent pot when I thought he was shoving on the river against Jake. I think it was when Jake folded. Yeah.
Hey, this is an interesting, just a thought I've had. You've watched a lot of poker, obviously.
I have,
over the years.
yes.
And has there been is there one thing that you could see over the last 10, 15 years that is unique to most of the winners, where it's like, wow, every time somebody wins a tournament, and the main event, you've obviously covered other tournaments as well, where you're like, I just feel like this ingredient is necessary to win.
Good question. That's a tough one.
Think about it.
Yeah, well, it's probably just being able to suss out logically what's been happening in the hand, and not any particular hand, but just in general, they're able to dance through the raindrops and get away from dangerous situations, or have the wherewithal to. It's okay once in a while to fold the best hand. Let's move on. The main event, we got 2-hour levels. They understand the structure. They understand, but then more than that, they understand maybe their opponents. There's there's obviously luck involved, but all of them have taken their situation and made the right choice in key moments. So it's not just willy-nilly and they're all in and I'm going to get you to fold. They're folding big hands at the right time. So I don't know if that's an answer, but it's just they're all very almost idiot savant in the right moment, knowing what they should be doing.
Idiot savant. Wow. I like that oxymoron.
Preternaturally smart in what they're doing. I'll throw you another one. You sit there and you go, wow, how did they get away from that? How did they make that river bet to make the other guy who looked so strong the whole way fold? There's key moments along the way. They just make the right choice.
It's an incredible amount of mental stamina. 7 days just
It is
staying
awful.
focused.
Oh, it's so
A lot of people-
hard to do physically.
Yeah. I can see people lasting 4 days, and then maybe on the 5th day you make so many mistakes because you're exhausted, you haven't been eating well or sleeping well.
Just around here, and down where you are, where you're in a tournament, and it's like a 2-day tournament. It's like you bag, at 2 in the morning, and come back tomorrow at noon, and we're going to play another 12, 13 hours. And by the middle of the second day, you're like dragging.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
imagine doing that for 7 days in a row.
It's not like your mind turns off. By the way, Jake has flopped top pair with the flush draw. He's got a huge hand here, and he is going to bet this when check 2. He should. That's the big thing. So you finish at 2 in the morning. It's not like you're in bed at 2:15. No. Your mind is still whirling. You're thinking about different hands. You're thinking about plays.
Lucky to get to sleep in 2 hours. Yeah.
Right. Maybe you're sleeping by 4, and then you want to wake up at maybe 10 so you can have breakfast, and it's tough. And multiply that, like you said, by 5 days, and see.
What's your deep run in the main?
Day 4.
It's tough, right? Yeah.
And you know, to Veronica's point, no limit hold'em. You know this all too well. It's one mistake. One mistake, and that's all. You could play perfectly for 5-6 days, and if you make one mistake against the wrong player, you're out. That's it.
And
Bye-bye.
the top pros will tell you there's so much value at the end of the day, of every day of the main event. The last hour and a half or so, you've got those amateurs in the early days who are still hanging on. The guys who are getting lucky and all like that, but they're getting tired. They're not used to being there every day, every hour, so many times. And so much value, they say, at the last hour and a half. The other ones remain smart. Go ahead.
Nice disciplined fold by Siwong.
Okay, Siwong.
I mean, top pair there, but couldn't beat much. Kicker barely played.
7 minutes left in voting.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. I will tell you, and I've made a few day twos. The end of day one bubble for a lot of amateurs is probably bigger than the money bubble.
Oh yeah,
People want to
I
call
will
home.
vouch for that. I played I think it was a senior event, the World Series one year, and we got the countdown, 3 hands left, right? You know, and so at that point, this was several years ago. I think we started with 3,000 chips. $1,000 buy, we get 3,000 chips. So last hand of the day, I'm under the gun. I pick up Ace King, and I've got like 14,000 chips, and everyone just wants to go home. So I raise. Goes all the way around to the big blind. He shoves one, and we have almost exact number of chips.
Wow.
You know, and I sat there for 3 or 4 minutes, you know, and not knowing what to do. And this was very early on before I knew anything about poker. But I said, I'm here to win, and I called, and he had Ace Queen.
Wow. You know, I was going to say, I didn't know how the story ended, but I would have looked like an idiot, and I'll put myself out there. I would have thought in a senior event, the last hand, that in fact the guy was really strong and just didn't want to see a flop and didn't want to lose the last hand, and was actually super strong.
That could have very well been.
But
see, I didn't know. Yeah, I got lucky, but nobody. Yeah, look at that.
Trip queens for Igor.
But to your point about day 2, so I go into day 2 with a better than average stack, and I last like 5 minutes. I got pocket jacks, ran something bigger. The blinds are so big, and you got to make it so big.
Loretta's got 2 pair here. And
Oh, against the trips.
Well, the 9 doesn't change anything. She already had queens and 10s.
Yeah.
All right, I'm tired. It's the end of the night.
You don't
Give me a break. Give me a break.
We can't play 3 pair in Holden.
Should be a way. Should be a game out there.
But what? By the way, this run out for Igor, he's got to hate it, because while he still has trip queens and a straight to boot, and a straight is good, it's impossible for him to get any value. But he's going to bet and take that down.
Yeah.
Oh, I happen to have a shirt for the boats. Look at that.
Wow.
Oh, it's over.
Did he rip it? Just
Yeah.
rip it? That snaps.
That gets my vote. That gets my vote.
Well, if it was the most
For Mother Russia.
you should have done that for most stylish. That
Mother Russia gets that vote.
Maybe. Yeah. Who knows?
That was a little Irish accent there.
That was-
If I don't make one mistake a night, it's just not a real night. It would be like it was pro production, post production.
But just 4 minutes left. Only 4 minutes left for you to a chance to vote, guys. So get your votes in. So we're
gonna
voting for the most
announce it.
disciplined player.
Yep.
This is the last
And
hand.
in fact, this is the last hand of the night. So get your votes in if you have not voted yet. Click on that. I see the night pot in there. Vote there. StoneGamblingHall.com.
All right.
Vote.
Well, last time I'm gonna make room for the winner
All right.
and beg off.
I can make room for the winner.
No, it's your show.
We're all leaving.
It's fun.
We're all leaving. The winner's coming in by
Yeah,
himself.
it's up by themselves.
This is talking
Talk
about
about how great they are.
All right, Sean, it was fun.
We don't even know who won. Lon, absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
You're coming back, right?
I'll be back here next Saturday.
That soon?
Lon McCarran, folks. The great Lon McCarran. Of course, you can follow him on Twitter, and if you'll listen to him on ESPN later this year, covering the World Series of Poker.
I don't know where to say.
Firmly believe that he should be in the Hall of Fame.
I agree.
Not even a question.
Him and Norman Chad.
8-6-4, 2 diamonds for what they have done for poker. Loretta with the ace of diamonds, so she's got backdoor diamonds plus the pair of sixes. That is the best hand right now. She bets 15. I'm not sure if she's going to get any value whatsoever. You know, it's funny. I always admired Lon from afar and respected him, secretly wanting his job forever.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I met him in 2009 or 10, and we become friendly, and so much more respect for him now than I ever had.
Great guy.
Knowing how hard he works at his craft and what he does, he is just a great ambassador to the game. That was the last hand. Been a fun
Yeah.
night. Flew by.
Great night. I can't wait. So Justin, I think, is going to come by
And let us
tell
know who won.
and then we're going to have an interview with the winner.
Yeah,
and that person is going to go to our final sit and go and play for the World Series of Poker seat.
Yeah, that is June 18th. Once again, on June 18th, event number 10, the qualifiers only single table tournament. So the winner of today's thing will play in that, to your point. Next Saturday, 2-5 no limit. The week after that, 6-12 limit. Again, we are still accepting applications. If you want to play in these events, you can send a paragraph to Stone Survivor at stonesgamblingHall.com. Once again, that's Stone Survivor at stonesgamblingHall.com. Include your name and your contact info. Cell phone number is preferred. Let us know.
Nudes. No nudes.
No nude. Yeah, well,
It might work. I don't know.
maybe. No. How do you think she got her job? Be funny. Have fun with it. We're not doing brain surgery here. Have a good time with it. Let us know why you should be on the show and you should represent Stones at the World Series of Poker. And hopefully we'll be seeing you. I will be back here next Saturday, apparently, with Valerie.
Val. Yeah, one of our other.
Are you going to come by at least and hang out?
I'll come by. I'll say hi.
Okay, cool. And I am back again on May 14th. But the Stone Survivor Series is here every Saturday night, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. here at twitch.tv/Stones Live Poker.
We're also here every Monday and Wednesday, same time, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We have a 5-5 game on Mondays, 5-10 on Wednesdays. And then this Wednesday is a very special Veronica and friends. All my girlfriends are coming to sit down with me at a table. We're going to have an all-ladies cash game.
I wish I was here.
I know. It's going to be fantastic.
My God,
But you
I
can
wish
watch.
I was here. Are your friends hot?
Of course they're hot.
Yeah, I swear.
they can play poker really well.
Good-looking women travel in packs.
Of course. So there's a pack of 9 of us.
Oh,
And it's Wine Wednesday.
why can't I be here for that?
I
Oh,
know.
it kills me.
Well, I mean, Jake might be looking for a commentary. How much do you charge an hour?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough sell to
I know you
fly
got your tough
fly
show.
up to Sacramento, then fly back to, and then fly. Since I'm going to be here next Saturday as
Right.
well, it's a tough sell on the wife.
Where's our winner?
We're
It's
fine.
just us.
Hey, your takeaway. I'm curious. So tonight, we saw an interesting game. I would assume is this a typical 1-3 game, or was this a little bit atypical because we had some players that normally play bigger and some tournament players in this game?
Okay, I think this is a typical 1-3 game, but with a few atypical players. Someone like Cobra, I don't think he generally plays 1-3, but that being said, the 1-3 games at Stone's Gambling Hall get really big. I mean, there were a few times where Jake and I got here and there was like $25,000 on a 1-3 game.
Well, I mean, by the way, that game we just left, Cobra had $2,500 on the table.
Yeah.
Which means any of us can sit down in the game and buy in for $2,500, which is over 800 big blinds deep.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about deep stack poker. Veronica Brill, David Tuckman, thank you so much for spending your Saturday night with us. By the way, if I'm here, come say hi. You want a beer? Beer's on me. If I'm here, beer's on me.
Wow.
I will buy you a beer.
I want a beer.
I will buy you a beer.
I'm ready for my
100%.
beer. Do you know how ready I am for my beer?
How ready?
I spent my whole morning making meatballs for Lon McCarran. You just happened to be there to get one.
Lucky me.
And my husband. And made him an apple pie. And now I'm ready. These hands made food all day. Now these hands are ready to hold a beer.
Hold a
and
beer.
shove it down my pie hole. What do you say? You can't finish you can't top that.
It's been an interesting night, I tell you. Not only are we going to find out who our first preliminary winner of the Survivor Series is, our first participant has a chance to win a 10K main event seat. Lon McCarran, you and I popped Lon McCarran's Twitch cherry.
And when I said it, it sounded so dirty. When you say it, it's okay.
Not so much.
Yeah.
You know, by the way, I thought that because that's a phrase I always use.
It's a phrase I always use.
Right.
You got it from me, right? Because you've been watching my show and you're a fan.
That's true. I wasn't gonna go there with Lon, but I'm glad you did.
Lon seems really proper. I have to kind of step back behind the line with Lon. I'm noticing.
Lon is really proper. No, he's like he gives that appearance like he's like straight-laced Lon McCann. He's because he has to be that. He's the straight guy to Norman's,
Craziness.
kooky craziness. But Lon is a very funny and witty guy in his own right.
He is, yeah. We saw that tonight. But he wears purple and blue, which is a sign of mental illness, like he said.
According to him.
According to him.
Right.
I did not learn that in nursing school. That's something I need to. Where's my pen? I need to jot that down also.
Here. Oh, you got a pen. Okay.
Why do people lick the pen?
Nobody does that except you. What do you mean
I thought
why?
it was a thing because the ink was dry, and then the old school, then you lick it, and then you write down. No?
Maybe in old school, maybe when pens needed to be licked. It's just disgusting right now. You just get ink on your tongue.
I didn't really lick it, just like I didn't really kiss the chips when I was in the stream. I was in the live stream, by the way.
Right.
Next time you and Bart want to do some commentary on the Stones live stream, I'll send you some footage of me.
Please do.
You don't want to see me.
Please do. No, I love that. I love that.
Somebody.
No, it's good stuff. I mean, by the way, here it is, the man we've been waiting for.
Give it to us.
Justin.
I'm only going to be here for a second because I have a very special guest, the winner of tonight's
Drum roll.
Total Votes ready. So with 130 votes,
130 votes.
winning with the closest person behind him trailing by 25 votes.
Wow.
So second place
Give
got
it to us.
105.
105, exactly. And second place actually got most of their votes. They had 66 going in the last round and then cleaned up the last round discipline. That was Hot Dog. He got 39 votes in the last round, brought him up to 105. So
It helps when you don't pick up a hand.
it got him close, yeah. Yeah, when you sit there and just wait for the right cards, right, and they don't come. Well, we got Jake here. He's going to come in and
I don't think there's
grace us
room for
with his
Jake and
presence.
us.
Yeah, so if you guys
So
can
Jake's
get,
the winner.
if you can get really little,
Let's squish
so if you
all
make
the
room
way
for his
over.
muscles.
Veronica, come
all
sit on Daddy's lap.
And we're gonna send him in.
My husband's watching. Let's squish. Let's squish. There's no room for us.
There's going to be no room for us and Jake. Wow.
Wow.
So presenting
Congratulations.
the winner,
Awesome.
the winner of the first event here at the Survivor Series. You apparently are going to be busy, ladies. Sorry, he is busy. He's busy June 18th. You'll be back here June 18th, and if you can win that night, you're playing the main event.
18th.
June 18th.
Okay, because I'm supposed to be flying out to Vegas June 18th, so I guess I'll fly out.
Not anymore.
No, you're gonna win a 10K seat.
I guess
instead.
I'll fly out the 19th, because it's only a little one-day thing, right?
It's just a sit and go.
It's just a
Okay,
3-hour sit and go.
No, that's perfect, because then I'll just fly out the 19th.
Right.
I'm not playing the event until the 24th.
Yeah.
Monster stack.
You know what I think won it for you, by the way, and I was going to ask you before I actually said.
What won
Is
it
it the
for him?
cutoff?
Yeah, no, I was going to ask you. What do you think? What do you think? You had 130 votes. You had 25 more votes than anybody else. You had 105.
Yeah.
You certainly weren't the luckiest player at the table
I
tonight.
couldn't really get any chips.
Yeah, you couldn't get any chips.
Much.
What do you think pushed you over the edge? What was it?
I don't know, maybe it was my style of play. I honestly, throughout like that 3 hours, I didn't get much. I maybe got like a few hands that I could work with. And,
There's an elephant in the room. Come on.
What do you mean?
what's the elephant in the room?
Come on. Look
My
at
looks,
you.
my look
You
counting all
got
the
you.
votes.
Yes.
Come on, people are
The
watching
ladies
for
loved
poker.
you.
So, yeah, that probably did help a little bit, but we're watching for poker.
Well, I mean, I think
I don't
the
know.
stylish part of it,
Right.
especially when you had the hood on.
you
We were
love the
suggesting that you
styles.
look like. We were suggesting that somebody actually said that you look like a character from a video game.
Yeah.
Like a badass character. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, dude, you got style. I like it.
And when I do go play the WSP, I'm hooded up and I got the glasses on.
Right.
And everything, so it's kind of my look.
Yeah, it works. I think it looks.
Drones85 wants you to give him a shout out.
Who? Oh, D Rose. That's my buddy Derek.
Yeah, we don't do shout outs here. Sorry, Derek.
Please shout out to you. That's my boy.
Yeah. You know what I thought won it for you actually was in the discipline department, which was the last category. You folded the Queen 9, which is a tough spot because of the big overbet.
Yeah.
You had trip 9s, and I think that's a tough spot for people. You think, okay, I've got the hand. Had all the money gone in the flop, you would have happily gotten it in. But you were able to fold that, and I think that swayed some people to think this guy can make some big laydowns, which is what you need in a main event.
Is what helped me out a lot there too. I've actually played with that guy before, so I actually when we were in that hand and he actually made the raise and I made the re-raise, I actually put him on 7-10 of spades. He had 7-10 of clubs. I put him on 7-10 of spades. So after you put that 6 of spade out there, it's like you know, it went through my head for a second. Do I have a better 9 than him? Do I have a better 9 than him? Because he did float, you know. So that went through my head for a second, but there's no way. I mean, I couldn't figure any way to call with that 6 of spades out there, especially with the read that I had on it with the 7-10 of spades, which I was pretty close. He had 7-10 of clubs. So, I mean, ultimately at the end of that hand, it was not that tough of a laydown.
Right. Good stuff, by the way. Just out of
That was a
curiosity,
shitty
when
hand.
you
That was
win the
horrible.
when you win the sit and go and you
Yeah.
get your main event seat,
Yeah.
and then of course you get to November 9 and make millions. What are you going to do with the money?
I'm not sure yet. I couldn't really tell you. I've never really dealt with that much money, so I couldn't tell you what I'd do with it. You know, I'd probably make a lot of good investments and go for
College
it.
fund for your daughter.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
she's set. She already
How old's your daughter?
She's set. 3.5.
Oh, fantastic.
My daughter Peyton, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's set. Yeah, I was gonna let everybody know. I couldn't let them know before, but if I did get the votes, that your money's in good hand, and I'll do good things with that seat.
That's
Sure.
good stuff, man. I like it.
I will.
Now,
Absolutely.
I have a few fans out there. The vast majority of people that watch the show hate me and watch to hope that something bad will happen. And for charity, I'm willing, and I'm wondering if you are. I'm willing to get in the ring with you for charity.
Okay.
I don't think you could last more than 14 seconds with me
Right now, probably.
for charity. No, I'm not talking about now. I have to train for it and everything. You've got me on age, looks. Maybe
That's about it.
maybe you're a couple of pounds heavier than me, but short of that, I think I can do it. But I'd be willing to kick your ass
Yeah,
for charity.
I would be willing
Okay.
to take that bet.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Fair enough, done.
Absolutely.
We'll figure out a
Done
good
deal.
charity
We'll
and make
figure
it
it out.
done, and
Yeah, we'll figure it
see
out.
how many people would enjoy watching.
I will really enjoy it.
You'd probably get a lot of
That
people
would
there.
I would tune in and pay money, pay per view.
I mean, I don't know how many enemies you have, but I mean, you'd probably get a few.
Yeah, enough people.
You don't need to be an enemy of his to enjoy that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
enjoy me getting my ass kicked.
A
Yeah.
lot of people would go.
Yeah, we'll see what that happens. Anyway, congratulations, man. I mean, this is fantastic.
Appreciate it. That was
you
fun.
surprised?
That was fun.
No.
Not surprised at all.
No. No.
See, I was. I'll tell you. I thought you had the early lead, and I thought since Cobra ran so well,
Yeah.
he got really lucky. I thought Cobra was going to. I thought he was going to actually overtake.
Yeah, I thought Cobra was going to take the lead or Jake, and then I thought maybe the sensible Robert.
Right. But I think it's a good choice. You guys at home chose him, and he will be here on June 18th. We'll be back here next Saturday for more action. It's a 2-5 no limit game, 7 p.m. Twitch.tv/Stones Live Poker, right?
Yes.
Stones Live Poker. So we'll be back here 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Thank you so much for joining us. Once again, we are accepting applications, so you can send those into stonesurvivor@stonesgamblingHall.com. Send a paragraph. Let us know why you should get in and play. You actually got in because you played 25
Yeah, for
hours.
cash, yeah.
So,
And I just got in some super deep cash sessions and I didn't even know. Justin's like, you're like 4 hours off. I'm like, what? From what? He's like, the Survivor. I'm like, really?
awesome.
I'm gonna knock that out real quick. So that was cool.
That's great
Cool.
stuff.
I got in, yeah.
And I'll see you guys on Monday. Well, actually, I'm not doing commentary on Monday, but Monday we've got a 5-5 game, and then Wednesday's the Veronica and Friends with all the ladies.
So awesome. We're going to be here Stones Live on Monday, on Wednesday, and then of course on Saturday, more Survivor Series. For Justin, for everybody here at Stones, for Veronica, for Alon McCarran, and of course for our winner, Jake, I'm David Tuckman. Thank you for watching. We will see you Monday, Wednesday, and then of course on Saturday. Good night and goodbye.
Good night.